Why?
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 27th, 2022. This sports show begins right now.
Football!
Wrapped up its 16th weekend of an 18-weekend season. Last night in Indianapolis, Indiana. Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert and Brandon Staley stamped their ticket to the playoffs for the first time, long time. We will get to see Justin Herbert on prime time in the playoffs where every game matters more and the ratings are higher than the regular season. Justin Herbert, this godsend of a football player from the state of Oregon who grew up playing football in his front yard, backyard, and living room. And you see clips from training camp where he's kicking field goals very well. That's not because he played soccer growing up. No, I talked to his dad. It's because his dad and his family, whenever they were playing football as youth, said that is what football is. We're talking about true football people from the berth over there in Oregon with the Herbert family. And now we get a chance to see this specimen, this creature, this man who's tall, strong, athletic, can make every throw, has taken a franchise by the horns alongside a stud group of defensive players, weapons around him, and a head coach who comes from the Linda and Jeff Bruce Staley coaching tree, which are his parents who are high school coaches. He has made decisions that a lot of other people have questioned in the past. In last year, they weren't able to crack into the playoffs. If you do recall, a tie would have got them in, I believe, and instead it did not happen. They don't make the playoffs. 2 years ago, Herbert's first year, Anthony Lynn was the head coach. They lost like 10 games that were all one-score games. All the hope and the hype has been there for this Chargers team, and last night they cemented their legacy as a playoff contender. Congrats to the Chargers, and congrats to Tom Telesco and the Spanos family who have built an incredible team. Derwin James is a bad motherfucker. I saw him make one of the biggest picks and best picks I have ever seen last night. Jump up, jump down, somehow defying gravity, speeding it up to get his left knee down, inbounds, boom, before going out to one of Foles' 14 picks last night.
That's right.
There was numerous underthrows and bad decisions by Nick Foles, who just got tossed in there to play against a team that was trying to clinch a playoff berth, which I don't think any of us knew going into the game yesterday. We found out whenever we got to the game, hey, the Chargers will clinch a playoff berth if they win tonight. It's like, that's not good. That's not good news at all. There was a hit last night that took place by Derwin James that was the biggest I've seen in the NFL in a long time. It felt like a James Harrison type hit. It felt like you were watching You Just Got Jumped Up on ESPN 5-10 years ago. This particular hit, head down from Derwin, through old buddy Dolan's shoulder pad into his button, knocking him and himself out. Derwin James Jr. did. He got up as if it was a horse being birthed from the mama. Kind of a little bit woobly. Both of them did. It was a massive collision. There's us right there. We're literally right in there. That's Foxy. That's I think I'm standing there. That's Sally McAfee's in the gray. It was a blue eye. It was a blue out. You could see who participated. In the suite above 49's head right there. Should know who that is. That's my mother, Sally. Hey, Mom. Thanks for coming. Shout out. Didn't support the blue out.
Love you, Sal.
Right next to Sal is Tim McAfee. He's sporting the blue out. Then there's me standing behind my wife. There's Foxy, eyes on play.
Hell yeah.
Bruce didn't support the blue out at all. ZD's front row next to Coco. The group next to us was having a blast. And as soon as this shot happened, there was a sound through the stadium that I hadn't heard in a long time. It was an oh shit type play because it was massive. Derwin James got ejected. Wouldn't have mattered. He would not have been able to get back on the field. I saw a video later because we didn't get to see it live. He was getting walked off, and he was pissed off.
Heated.
I don't know if the unaffiliated neuroscience inspector, the UNC, who's supposed to look out for guys like Tua if they potentially have a concussion again, especially whenever they had 2 earlier in the year, allegedly, maybe only 1 with a back injury, who knows, that whole thing. The UNC has certainly come into question. Derwin James would not have been allowed back on that field.
No chance.
The way he was walking after was worse than Doolin. Doolin couldn't get up for a bit. Doolin walks off the field. He gets a round of applause from our corner, and he gives like a shout out. We honestly thought, and not in a joking manner, Doolin might have thought he just scored a touchdown because of how hard he just got hit. This was one of the biggest shots I've seen in a long time, and that just adds to the thing. Derwin James, Pro Bowler, paid, stud. He's willing to do that against the Indianapolis Colts because that's the type of guy he is. Seems like they got a great culture over there at the Chargers locker room. Kyle Van Noy, allegedly, per my sources, you know, going to those games, you get a chance to chat with like almost a lot of people coming over to the suite before the game, come over and say, hey, how you doing? Having a quick conversation, everything like that. Get a chance to learn a lot about what's going on in both buildings, which we will get to. But with the Chargers, I guess Kyle Van Noy, much more of a leadership role.
Nice.
He's gotten to the point where he is either comfortable. I think the way it was described to me by multiple people, he had gotten to a point where he was comfortable enough with his position on the team where he could start. He didn't want to step on anybody's toes.
Sure.
So his leadership, which I believe was felt in Miami, even though they got rid of him, in New England for a long time. I think that's why Bill brought him back.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, his leadership is something that Kyle Van Noy is known for, and he comes on the show. He's an incredible talker. We love him. Now, we did invite him to come on the program and come by the studio. We did it through the Chargers PR people, so I don't know if there was maybe a game of telephone there where it got miscommunicated. But Kyle Van Noy said he was doing what he did last night, which is a couple sacks and blowing up the whole game. And just doing what Kyle Van Noy was doing for a long, long time in the NFL. He said, that's what happens when you don't invite me to the crib or the studio, shake my head up, see you soon. We did invite you.
Kyle.
We did invite you.
What the hell?
We didn't want you to do that.
Come on.
Kyle. We love you.
Chargers PR withheld the information, so you'd be a little bit more pissed off.
Enemies in your camp.
Chargers PR, this is good strategy. Okay.
Yeah, enemies always.
Make sure the boys are still a little pissed off going in. Hey, everybody in the city that you think are your friends, they're not your friends. Pat, we actually reached out. We're like, hey, Pat, you think maybe you want to have Kyle Van Noy? They said, no, that's not the truth. And if Chargers PR did that, congrats on the gamesmanship.
Yeah.
Congrats on it.
He played very well.
Little chess move. We invited everybody over, including Eckler, the injury doctor, who got in the end zone twice.
Yep.
Of course.
He fucking balled out. The whole team was fun to watch. Herbert is clearly very tall.
Yeah.
He's very big whenever you compare him amongst everybody else. And the plays that they do, and Keenan Allen was running, I mean, he stepped out of bounds there. There was no reason for him to be able to stay in bounds, though. That's whenever people say you can cut on a dime. That means you have the ability to have all momentum going this way and just, you know what? Body control. I'm going to go ahead and straighten this fucking back up, and I'm going to turn this way. Keenan Allen, we got to see it from the back view because he was literally right in front of us when he did that. Everything in his body's going out of bounds, and then he just has the ability, just go ahead and stop, and then just roll. And it was 1/8 of an inch. That's all. He would have scored a touchdown. Would have been one of the most impressive athletic feats I've seen in some time with the ability to cut on a dime and go. But Keenan Allen's a guy. Don't really talk about him much. Them not making the playoffs has kind of put them in a position where they're not being chatted about enough. And they're in Los Angeles, so you think the media coverage would be huge. But the reigning Super Bowl champions also in Los Angeles, so they get a lot of chatter, especially with the big names that they have. Well, the names that are on the Chargers, whether known or not known, are about to get blown up. And that's in the playoffs. That's what the playoffs are. So congrats to the Chargers on making it in.
Well done, Chargers.
The Talks and Tables here as they are every single day at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. And,
Man,
boys,
one of the best.
before we get to it, ladies and gentlemen, Jose in the trenches, 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, and coach AQ Shipley.
Wow. How we doing?
AQ, can't wait to watch In the Trenches. You can admit this, though, too. And Talks the Table would like to you buy in. Everybody behind the glass, Foxy, Zito, Nick, Dirty, Brucey Boy, Bill, Gump, Phil.
What?
To everybody. How cool does Tone Diggs look today?
10 out of 10.
The boots are unbelievable.
Can you zoom that one out a little bit? Which camera is it? Is it that one? So, can you put those boots, turn that son bitch out the sideways?
Come on.
Can you put those boots out the
Come on,
side?
Tone.
Well, this is the last time I've ever worn them.
Wow.
Cool.
Come on. How cool does this fucking dude look right here?
Movie star.
Seriously, Tone, you fucking brought it today,
In
dude.
the next season of Yellowstone.
Thanks, guys.
Tone, this is not fucking with
What are
you.
you doing?
This
Tony?
is
Every time it's fucking with me.
You look
No,
great.
wow.
Can't give you a
Tony,
compliment.
come on.
Tone, we come from a place, okay, where compliments are almost always certainly coming from a backhanded fashion.
Sure.
Of course.
This is not that. I would just like you to genuinely know from one human to another. And I think boys are, I don't know if they're fucking with you. They're going to have to give
I'm
you
not.
the same
No,
pledge.
not at all.
I'm not.
You look awesome today.
Thank you.
First thing I said when I walked in, holy shit, Tone, you look really cool today. And I think you should know that. What you're doing right now is really working.
Great fit,
We
Tony.
sincerely love it.
You look like you play the mandolin. You look sick.
Tony
See,
Fitz.
now things are starting to come.
I don't know
And
what
I
that
can
is.
see the radar that you're kind of putting up.
What's a mandolin?
It's a really cool, like, little guitar, I believe.
I thought that
Yeah.
was that
Folksy.
Disney.
Ukulele?
That's a Disney show.
Folksy.
Oh, the
instrument.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Could be in that too.
I
from
think
the Cool
Sasha
Planet.
Banks is in that, right?
She is.
Yeah, she is.
Yes.
When she came out on SmackDown, that was one of the things that they wanted us to put over. And I was always too scared to pull the trigger on saying it because I didn't want to mispronounce the name of the
Sure.
show. But that was it, right?
Yep.
The
Mandalorian.
It was a good one, right? Star Wars.
She
thing.
killed
I
it.
didn't
Bill
watch
Burr's
it,
in
but-
it.
Bill Burr's in it?
Bill
yeah.
Burr is in it.
I believe we called him one time. He was on set.
Oh, that was whenever he was
filming.
certainly very happy to be on our program. Never know what you're getting.
Yeah, well.
That's always
No.
one that's very fun to kind of dive into. Speaking of diving into, let's do some football talk. AQ, you're a man of great football knowledge. You're also a cultured human, right? You love cooking
Yeah.
and
What?
you lie to chefs all the time to
Yep.
get into their restaurants around the country. And
Agent.
It's a fantastic thing. Hi, this is Alan. I'm the agent of AQ Shipley. I was wondering if this offensive lineman who is a Pro Bowl caliber player,
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Can't argue it.
a former Remington winner, drafted
All-American.
the Pittsburgh
Stud.
Steelers, stud. He was wondering if you just had a spot open at the bar or maybe a table for him and his wife to stop by. And we know it's only an hour away from now and it's the best restaurant in the city, but he would really be honored to taste your
AQ
food.
Shipley we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champ.
We'll get back to you. Okay, well, he's going to go to, Bobby Flay has a
Yeah,
restaurant.
that's right.
He has a restaurant here as well.
On the
Okay,
map.
we can fit you in. Perfect. He'll see you then. Then yeah, that's this guy, big brain.
Hey,
thanks for letting me in, guys.
All
Thanks for
aspects.
letting me
My agent told me it was really hard to get in here, so I appreciate you guys doing that. But from all aspects, big brain. When you watch the Indianapolis Colts and they put up 3 fucking points, okay, then they're up 33-zip and they end up losing 36-33, and then they get outscored 33-0 in the fourth quarter. Okay, 33-0 in the fourth quarter. And we have guys on the team like Jelani Woods, who every quarterback loves Jelani Woods. Every time Jelani Woods is on the field, the quarterback normally throws the ball to Jelani Woods. He just can't get on the field. Now, why is that? We don't know. He's a young guy. It's been a couple different regimes. If you go back to the Frank Parks Frazier, Jeff Saturday regime now, he's, for whatever reason, not getting out there. Deion Jackson, this guy, number 35, we put him on the fucking Super Boost because he came in relief of Jonathan Taylor, ran hard, got yards.
Oh, yeah.
The game last night, I was there, lucky to be there. Last time game I think we're going to be at because the next one's against the Texans in a couple weeks, day before a national championship game. I believe I'll be out of town. So I'm there trying to take it all in. Light show, fantastic. The way they were doing it, it was a beautiful evening at Lucas Oil Stadium. Aside from the football that was being played by the home team, Deion Jackson was the first player introduced as a starter for the offense. First one. Literally, lights go down, light show starts. Here we go. We're having a fucking night all of a sudden. Me and the wife, a little date night. Now for your starting offense. I'm like, okay, here we go. Number 35, out of Duke, Deion Jackson. I was like, holy shit, this is a sign. Put this guy in the Super Boost.
right.
He's the first player introduced in the starting lineup. But not everybody on the offense gets introduced as the starters there. They do sometimes have 12 or 13 people get introduced because there might be a swing or multiple tight ends that not necessarily are going to be on the field at the same or to start the game, but they'll be on the field at some time. They want to give them a rub or whatever, But not everybody who's just going to play 7 plays gets introduced with the starters on the offensive side of the ball. He seemingly is a good player. He gets blown up on a screen early. They don't even put him back on the field to the fourth quarter in trash time. It feels like we have some weapon. I like Michael Pittman. I like the way he plays. I didn't like him early because Carson Wentz said, hey, I was wondering if I'd get number 11, but number 11 my whole life. Michael Pittman, rookie, who had not accomplished anything. Nah, I'm keeping 11. You can kind of fuck off. Carson Wentz goes to 2, ends up playing like a number 2 as well for the Indianapolis Colts and move on. But I think Pittman was right all along. Like, Pittman is a guy, I like him a lot. Got stars on defense.
All over.
That team fucking stinks, AQ.
So bad.
They are so bad at football. Not fun to watch.
Nope. No.
Okay?
Tough to watch.
Like Bubba Ventrone, special teams coordinator, he's maybe one of the best in the NFL at what he does. Players are the best at their positions that we allegedly have the best. In the teams, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. I've been very lucky to be a part of a lot of very good teams in a lot of different sports. Every sport I've been on, in every team I played on, has been pretty good. Pretty much. I mean, I guess high school football team last year made the playoffs. Good. Pretty good. Now, we got beat like by a lot against USC, which was a college campus, and they had a lot of money. They did do. But every team that I've been on, we go 2-14 one year when Payton gets hurt.
Yep.
Other than that, though, basically every team I've ever been on has been good. And I've been very lucky and fortunate to be a part of it. So I don't necessarily understand. How do you have so many good players and people in positions of importance that are good? Now, granted, quarterback play has been absolute dog shit.
Terrible.
But let's not act like the offensive line play has been good. And the offensive line play is the most expensive offensive line in football. In running back-wise, it is Jonathan Taylor this year versus Jonathan Taylor last year, and I know Jonathan Taylor was hurt. It is not. They are not familiar with each other. It is a completely different-looking team, most of the same players. How does that happen, AQ? Why do they fucking stink? And why does the national TV audience get to watch that That's the last primetime game we've had, thank God.
Thank God.
We had 3 straight where we were just getting embarrassed to everybody. Last night might have been the worst performance yet, and it was at home.
They are tough to watch. I mean, they are very tough to watch. It's one of those things where I don't think you can put enough emphasis on culture in a locker room. I really don't think you can. So many people, you look at paper and you look at their roster and you're like, this is a playoff team. This is a championship
Yeah, we
type
did
team.
that. They have 3 primetime games late in the season because of that, by
Because
the
of
way.
that. And
they had the
because of-
4th or 5th best odds to win the AFC Championship going in. Somebody tweeted me that the other day. Pat, they had the Colts at the 5th best odds in the AFC going into the season. That's where the Colts were. We were talking about them in the same exact way. That team sucks.
Yeah.
Coach already got fired. You know why the coach got fired? Because that team sucks. How does it happen? I honestly have
I'm telling you, it's culture. Listen, if you would have looked at our roster, a team that you and I were a part of in 2012 here on the Indianapolis Colts, maybe on paper the worst roster in the NFL. Would you agree?
Oh, they actually had us 32nd.
32nd, right?
Oh, the rankings, yeah.
And we end up winning the division, right? Or maybe we came in second. No, we were a wild card, but we end up going to the playoffs, right? We go 11-5 with the worst roster in football.
Allegedly.
And then you take a team that's maybe one of the best rosters on paper, and it can only come down to culture.
What is that? How do you make that? What is the culture? Is that the
There's
coaching
so
staff?
many
Is that
different
the
things.
GM?
Whether
Is that the owner?
whether it's holding your position groups accountable, whether it's listen, whenever shit starts to go bad, every single leader in their position group has to take accountability.
Hey, control your room.
Control your room.
That's
And
literally
every
what's-
coach says that, right?
Yes.
And it's so fucking true. It is so true. You have to control your room, and you have to figure out how to make it better. When shit is going wrong, the Quentin Nelsons, the DeForest Buckners, the Zaire Franklins, all of them.
We got Gilly Luck.
Yeah.
Gilmore, right?
Yes.
Those guys got to take control and say, enough is enough.
Defense player of the year. Defense player of the year.
They're still unbelievable.
Super Bowl MVP.
Pro Bowler last year.
Hall of Fame guard, allegedly.
Uh-huh.
I mean, definitely. He's making but I'm just saying, how is it happening? How's it? That's
It comes back to one thing. It's quarterback.
Quarterback sucks. Everybody says, fuck it. Is that what we're saying?
I mean, maybe they fucking saw Matt Ryan in preseason and stuff like that, and like, we have no chance. Why try this year?
See, I thought Matt Ryan looked good in preseason.
He did.
Like
Well,
in
yeah.
training camp, I thought he looked real good.
Cutting up the defense.
And remember the boys? Yeah, he beat the
Lions defense.
smoked the Lions. Now, that was when the cornerback coach was still coaching.
Oh,
True.
that's what it was.
So once he got fired, that whole defense changed him. That guy had a lot to
Yep.
say, it seems like.
Sure
he
seems
did.
like it.
a lot to say in there.
Yeah.
But everybody loved Matt Ryan.
Well-
Remember, Astronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Navy SEAL.
Of course. Disrespectful, but of course.
Well, yeah, it was a comparison to those who are fantastic. So it was a compliment more so
Yeah.
than anything to both Matt Ryan and certainly the astronauts and the Navy SEALs.
Wow.
Now, saying he's at their level, I could see how you could certainly take a little bit of offense to that if you are a Navy SEAL or an astronaut, which you do have friends that are that. So I can see how maybe it's offensive, especially with how Matt Ryan's year has gone. But all conversation and chatter out of the building was Matt Ryan. Hey, this guy, we needed a little accountability. Everybody said that, right? That was being told to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So back to what you were saying. And then my sources
Oh.
all over that building over there, okay? I got a chance to chat with some people yesterday at the game.
Okay.
What about?
Walking in, on the field. Fucking Jeff almost came up and said, "What's up?" at
did.
halftime.
It was awesome.
Did he?
It was cool.
He had to remind himself he's a head coach.
Yeah, it was.
Literally.
It was a cool moment. It was a cool moment. We had. It was a cool thing. So I got a lot of friends there, which is why I will remain a Colts fan forever, because the building of the Colts has been. You know the building. Building's
Very
great. Those are good
Great
people.
building. Great people.
That's a good building.
Top to bottom.
Like those buildings stay while GMs and coaches change. That happens all around the NFL. There's equipment managers that have been on teams for 40 years, 50 years, and their staff has been there through 5 different GMs, 5 different head coaches. At the Colts, I mean, they've literally been there since Baltimore, since the team came to Baltimore. Some of the equipment managers and the setup there. The athletic trainer Hammer's been there, I think, literally since the first year they came to Indianapolis. So he's been through so many different regimes, players and coaches. And then you talk about even the sales team. And you talk about the security team. Security detail there has been there for fucking 20 years and everything like that. So they've seen everything. So I'm chatting with everybody, you know? And everybody is very kind and very nice. It's always great to see everybody. We pick up like we just left off, which is a fantastic thing to have happen. But then I just ask them, like, hey, is this fixable? Like, hey, you've seen it, right? These people have been through bad.
Real bad.
These people have been through great, real great.
Yeah.
All of it. They've been through it all. Is this fixable? And everybody kind of said the same thing. They're like, yeah, it's fixable. It's fixable. But somebody's going to have to
Whip them into shape.
Somebody's going to have to be hold some people a little bit
drill
more
sergeant.
accountable.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to come in there and really hold some people accountable, because it seems like they've it's really lost its way in there. I would love to hear what Reggie thinks. I would love to hear what Bubba thinks. I would love to hear what Gilly Lock thinks.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to hear what Jeff thinks. Jeff, right? Jeff, not there day to day. Whenever he was consulting, advising, I think he was Zoom. I would think he was zooming
Yeah,
in with
'cause
like
he's working
Frank.
for ESPN.
And he was at training camp. But they're at training camp there. There's really nothing else going on. He's not on day to day. I've heard like day to day in the building, little accountability would be nice.
Okay.
And it's going to take that, I think, to get going. So hopefully Jim has heard that. Hopefully people have told Jim Irsay that, and he has considered that whenever he's looking to hire whoever he's going to hire. I would love to hear Jeff's thoughts about how it's all being run, because a lot of the people, what they were describing, multiple people, this is multiple departments, all kind of saying the same image, same thing. It's like, that is not a professional organization. That's not the NFL. Like, that is not what, you're lucky to be in the NFL. People get confused about that because they think, they're untouchable or whatever. And they've gotten money. It's cool. You've gotten money, which you can live off forever, we hope. We assume you'll make good financial decisions and you won't understand about taxes and how the money that you might have needed to live forever 10 years ago is vastly different than it is now. But like being in the NFL and then being great in the NFL, 2 different lives, 2 different operations, 2 different sets of commitments to everything. And from what it sounds like is there is certainly some people that feel like it's a right to be in the NFL as opposed to a privilege to be in the NFL is what it seems like. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why it feels like the answer has to be in the locker room now, because you can't really just hit reset because of all the contracts that you have. And obviously Matt Ryan, who knows, we didn't think anyone would take Carson Wentz's contract last year. The Commanders did. Maybe they're able to move Matt Ryan, but even just looking at the team from the start of the season, like, sure, we can definitely blame Matt Ryan in the quarterback play because it hasn't been great, but like the sell on the Colts was O-line running back, and they haven't had that at all this entire year.
Which brings us to a great talking point. Sean Payton liked the tweet last night.
Yeah.
About the Indianapolis Colts.
What?
Sean Payton liked the tweet.
Uh-oh.
Fix it, Sean, please, says Colts fan. Okay, Kenny Moore, the person that is in that photo right there, one of our stars, didn't play last night.
Nope.
Shaq Leonard, one of our other stars, didn't play last night. Jonathan Taylor, one of our stars, didn't play last night. But the fans say, hey, fix it, Sean, please. He likes it and goes, you know what, I will. Now, is this mean that Sean's just using this as leverage to other teams, let them know that maybe there's a lot of fan bases that would like old Sean Payton, old fucking Uncle Sean to come to town and fix all their wrongs and take them to a promised land like I was able to do with the New Orleans Saints? Maybe.
Absolutely.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
But why not the Indianapolis Colts, Sean Payton? Huh? They need you.
Yes.
You're the guy that they need, from what I've been told, because everybody thinks Sean Payton, who is great on media, has had a lot of success. His former players like him, and I think he is somebody that wears cool shoes, so everybody thinks he's cool. Yeah. He's a fucking attention to detail, badass coach.
Yeah. Wired in.
Hey, this is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it. I think that is something allegedly from the conversations I've heard around Indianapolis where it could work. Another place everybody's thinking he's going to go to is maybe the Denver Broncos. Now, he's allegedly hired Vic Fangio to be his defense coordinator in a mock coaching staff if he was to get hired again. Almost like he's going to teams saying, hey, not only do you get Sean fucking Payton.
Yeah, not just me. Super Bowl
my
champ.
Jays and everything, big ring I got, my Rolodex. You know, they said Drew Brees is dead. He's not dead. I can actually bring him.
I'll bring him back.
He'll fucking coach quarterbacks. He's coaching Purdue right now.
That'd be awesome.
Already
He'll
in
come
Indy.
coach quarterbacks right here. He's having a good time. Any of these teams. Also, do you know the Denver Broncos, right? What has been their problem forever? Oh, the offense thing. Yeah, but what, on the other side, defense what? Real good.
Yeah.
Their head coach, defense coordinator, Vic Fangio, coming alongside me. So this is what we're going to need. $25 million, okay? 20 to me, 5 to Vic, and then we are going to move along, and we'll fix your entire operation for you.
Quick.
Like the Denver Broncos, and everybody's saying that Vic Fangio will not go back to Denver because of what happened there. I understand that could be the case. New ownership, though. Might be a new feel, new vibe over there.
True.
But why don't they? Can one coach do that, you think, AQ, as somebody that has been a player and a coach? Can Sean Payton come in and be a miracle worker in some of these places like everybody's expecting? And what I think he's going to get paid to do is be a miracle worker. Colts are going to need a lot. Broncos are going to need a lot. There's going to be numerous teams that are going to need almost a miracle to get them out of where they are. Is Sean Payton enough to do that? And do you think that'll take place?
I think it can happen. I think the biggest question mark, and this is this may get taken the wrong way a little bit.
No. Steve Smith actually said yesterday, you know, I got to run into these people I'm talking to, and it's a whole thing. And we said, no, Steve. You cut to it.
You're
Talk your
Steve
shit.
fucking Smith.
That's literally the name of your podcast. Cut to it. You're fucking Steve Smith, dude. You're allowed to say whatever you want.
That's right.
Hey, Q, you're allowed to say whatever. It's your league, pal.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion.
12 years you played in that thing, coached in that thing.
Yeah.
It's your fucking league. Whatever you say, you're allowed to say.
Hey, when I came in, when you
Now,
came
there
in,
might be uncomfortable conversations with people later, and you
That's
need to
okay.
understand that.
That's okay.
It might be awkward at some point. Radio Row, a lot of people we talk about,
Yeah.
all going to be there. You'll be there with us this year.
That's okay.
It's in Arizona, so do whatever you got to do. But
Perfect.
also, you're allowed to say whatever the fuck
Speak
you
your
want.
truth.
Tell the truth.
It's your league.
10, 12 years ago, when we came in, 13 years ago, 14, whatever it was,
Bud.
there was accountability from the minute you walked in. There was accountability. You had to, because the people, the Vince Wilforks, when I came into Pittsburgh, the Troy Polamalu's of that world, the Ben Roethlisbergers, the Ike Taylors, the James Harrisons, right? All the old heads. They taught you a certain way to approach the game, to behave in the locker room, to act on the field, and all
In
of
the
that.
building, this
In the
is how
building.
you operate.
This is how we're operating. I don't know if that's there in this upcoming generation. I don't know that. And so when you get,
Disgusts me.
This guy.
so when you
New
get,
NFL.
That's not good.
I'm
Can't
just
say
saying,
that.
there's all this new world that you
Can't
come up
believe
from
you'd say
college,
this.
and so then you have Sean Payton, who is the attention to detail, the Bill Belichick's of the world.
Hell yeah.
They pride themselves on running it and running their operation in a certain fashion, in a certain manner, and will the young guys buy in? And it's very hard to get young people to buy in, especially when you're not 11-5.
Yeah, I agree. You're going to have to have success quick
Gotta
if
have
you're going to
success
act
quick.
like. You also have to have a resume. So I think there's people that'll get grandfathered in. For instance, Saban, I think, runs accountability.
Yep.
But it's
attention.
easy. He
Tight
wins every
shit.
year.
That's exactly. I think your resume has to be there. You have to be able to match it. So Sean Payton, I think, has a resume where he'll be able to do that. But if they don't win quick, even the allure of Sean Payton, I think,
sure.
will wear off on people. It is
sure.
a very different generation. I think what's happening in Alabama, though, is, and Deion's going to be the same way. Deion also, I think, is great news for the NFL long term and for college football. Because Deion is going to be a very...
That's the world he came from.
Nobody ever talks about it with Deion, you know? And I kind of hate it that it happens this way. if you listen to any of the content that Deion Sanders Jr. puts out through Deion Sanders Instagram, which is his actual team meetings and things he's actually saying in practice, as opposed to just mic'd up the clips that are kind of cut there, Deion's like, hey, this is how we're doing it. We got no phones in the meeting rooms. We got no earrings on. But we got everything
No hats,
he does.
no hats, no hoodies.
He's very old school.
Yeah.
Listening to him talk,
Love it.
that is very, very old school. And it's like he can do it because his resume is what it is. And every parent of all these kids is like, that's prime. And every kid that's going there is like, that's prime. So I think you have to have the resume to be able to do that, and you have to have success. But if you don't have the resume, I think it's going to be hard to put in. And if you don't have success, I think you're fucked. I think you are completely fucked. So, I think the allure of Sean Payton will certainly be something, but they're going to have success. Will they be able to do that in Denver or Indy or any of the other places that pop up? I mean, Steve Wilkes, we all just assume is going to get that Carolina Panthers job because of how good of a job he's been able to do after trading away their best players, two of them. Wide receiver Robbie Anderson also traded. Christian McCaffrey traded. They're still winning 5 games. He has that locker room fighting. Seemingly, Wilkes has done a great job, but that's the second wealthiest owner in the NFL. And remember, coaching, there's no salary cap. So, you can fucking pay $30 million a year if you really wanted to get a coach, to get a GM to come in there and really transform it. And that's what these new owners, I think, are going to take advantage of with their deep pockets. The Waltons have so much money. They can take advantage of it, cash over cap with the way they do their contracts, and coach and GM, which has no cap at all, to get the absolute best. I feel like they're going to do that. I honestly believe that.
Well, it feels like Jim Irsay, he might not have the, Walmart money or the Tepper money, but he has enough where he can do some things with it, and I'm not going to bring up any of the city stuff. We know that song and dance, but how hard is it to have veteran leadership when your veterans are the guys that they get on 1-year deals or 2-year deals? If you're a locker room, and you guys have been in there, so you guys can probably talk about it better than any of us. If there's a young locker room, and there hopefully, obviously, but if there's a young locker room, which they have, that's a young locker room, and a lot of their best players are very young. Like Quentin Nelson, he'd be in the 4th year of his rookie deal if he didn't get extended. Is it easy to have Matt Ryan or a Gilmore, who Gilmore has kind of been a quiet guy more so than a vocal leader, at least he was in New England? Is it easier for that team to buy in around a new dude versus maybe a new head coach?
Well, you just talked about with Chargers, like Van Noy and Khalil Mack, they had to wait. That's kind of what Connor's talking about, right?
Yeah, until they got comfortable to feel like, hey, we're not stepping on anybody's toes, which is a real thing.
Yeah. And
that's also somebody that's a good teammate would want to do. When I was hearing that, though, last night from numerous people, same diagnosis of the team. Basically, it was the same diagnosis of the team from numerous different angles.
Second opinion, same diagnosis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, boom. This is 5-6 opinion. I'm like Mike White with my fucking ribs. And they're all giving the same diagnosis. I almost started judging the guys on the team. I don't know them that well. I know Ryan Kelly the best because I was teammates with him. Love Ryan Kelly. He's been through a lot off the field. I assume he's spending a lot of his time potentially out of the building on other things that are massively important to actual humans as opposed to just football players. But I started questioning these guys that I don't know that well. How is Quentin Nelson letting this happen? You know what I mean? He's this guy that he's been great since day one.
Yeah.
He's been a guy since day one. He's a first-round draft pick, so he's automatically given a platform. Is he just a quiet? Do they just have a bunch of quiet leaders almost, and the wrong people are the ones that are doing the influencing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd love to know what's going on in there. I really would, because you're hearing things.
Because can you fix it? That's
and you're
what my
seeing
thing
things.
is. Can you fix it? In Denver, you think anybody's going to get over Russell Wilson on that defensive side of the ball next year?
Not a chance.
I don't know how they do.
Zero.
We were told they were going to be able to do it at the offensive line in fucking Seattle for that 1 year, remember? His Team 3 buried the offensive. You guys have the worst offensive line in history, says Team 3 body guru spokesperson. And then Russell Wilson gets on Dan Patrick. Your Team 3 said some things yesterday. And Russ goes, people have their opinions, and they do their thing, and we just try to get work. We got to get better, and I'm open for whatever. And didn't put him to rest and say that. And then everybody's like, oh, they'll be able to be good again. And then there was anonymous sources burying Pete Carroll from Team 3's perspective. And then anonymous sources came back from Pete Carroll's side, burying Russell Wilson. And then that got all scrapped whenever the Chicago Bears allegedly tried to trade for Russell Wilson. And the Seattle Seahawks said, we're not trading Russell Wilson. And then they were all friends again. They did that press conference, remember? And we asked, I think we actually asked the question, We said, so the offensive line, that's all back basically, that he said is the worst. Team 3 says worst in football. They just completely forget that was said. That Pete Carroll just completely forgets what everybody around Russell Wilson is saying, let alone the people on the team who are friends with Pete Carroll, love Pete Carroll, or see the way he operates. We were just like, this is going to, and then lo and behold, they stink. A year later, he's traded away. Now that team's obviously already fired another head coach, and they're moving, and Seattle's going the opposite direction. It's like, those are real things. You can strike something because somebody can object. I object. Strike that from the records. Jury still hears it.
For sure.
And that's happening, I think. Like the Colts, I don't know how you fix it. Denver, I don't know how the fuck they're going to fix that with Russell Wilson in that locker room.
I don't either. And just, it's funny you brought that up. I think that's a good point to hit on is just when you're assembling a team, when you're just bringing in vets for 1 year, right? And like, okay, so Russell comes in, obviously it's a 5-year thing, but like when you try and
lot of money.
Lot of money.
More money than everybody else.
When you try and build around something, you start to like piece together, like let's get this guy, let's get that, GMs have such a fine line. They have to do such a good job of assembling a team that they build through the draft, that they build from within, and then use free agency and use the tools that you have at your disposal to get vets on the 1 or 2 year deals, right? To piece that team together. The teams that use that to piece the team together, and that's the ones that have constant success. The Baltimores, the New Englands, the Steelers, right? The Green Bay Packers, right? They're never reaching, right?
No, not that yet.
No.
Not that yet. Yeah.
Yep.
But constant success, constant. I know a lot of those teams are down.
But that's why they're still alive, though.
Yeah,
because of what you're talking about right here.
Right.
Even in down years, they're still alive, everybody.
But the teams that sit there and they're like, okay, we're going to build our team with 15 guys that we're bringing in who are in year 8, 9, 10 that are going to make this team better.
I don't think that's what the Colts did or the Broncos did either, though. That's why it's so fascinating. You got to be very picky on who you let in and how things go. I don't know how you fix some of these things, honestly. It's going to be a long road for some teams is what I'm staring down, and that's what I was thinking last night while I was watching that insanely boring game.
So boring.
I'm like, is this our life? We haven't made the playoffs in years. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, we're not staring down a good thing, I don't think, on the other side. How do we? So that was my big question. But can we fix? Hey, is this what this is now? Is this what life is now as a Colts fan, or can we fix this? And I think everybody thought they could fix it, but same diagnosis.
Well, for the Colts especially, like you talk about not having like guys in that next generation who can kind of like set the standard and everything. Like, I understand that not everyone wants to be like a vocal leader and stuff like that, but like Quentin Nelson, like this is a guy who everyone's tapped as like a Hall of Famer. He's a perennial Pro Bowler. Like when you notice that there is a void in the locker room, like I don't care. That's kind of on him, isn't it? To be like, hey, there's a void in this locker room, a leadership void. I'm supposed to be like the best player on the team. So whether I'm comfortable doing this or not, like we suck. Nothing's going right. So maybe I need to kind of like, man up and fill this void because otherwise, it's just the same shit over and over again. And also, like, how much of that, the coaching obviously matters a bunch, but how much of this falls at the feet of Ballard and Irsay? Because, Irsay is, like, he's heavily involved in the day-to-day operations. Like, you look back, like, obviously Chris Ballard had some sort of conversation with him, but, like, it was Irsay who wanted Matt Ryan. Like, he was the one who, he's the one paying him. He's the one who put his fist down and was like, hey, get me this guy, and it's like...
Yeah, got rid of Carson.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, like, if there's not a certain point where he kind of realizes, like, oh, shit, like, things are bad here, like, everything needs to be blown up and kind of fixed, and, like, that's probably a very tough pill to swallow, especially when you're the one who kind of have your fingerprints all over everything.
I'm intrigued to see how it's handled. Just to kind of put a bow on the whole Colt situation. Jim Irsay spoke to ESPN. He said the head coach is unknown until the interview process goes forward. Jeff would be an outstanding candidate. He didn't say he would hire him. And then he also said that Ballard will be our GM in 2023. So another year of Ballard. And to your question, I have no idea whose fault it is. But if people are doing what I'm hearing and there's no accountability and no like expectation of like being a professional, I don't know how you fix it. Hopefully they'll be able to do that. On the other side, Denver Broncos ownership has released a couple statements. This is from Mike Kliss of Denver Post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that where he's from?
The Denver Gazette.
Denver Radio in Denver.
Gazette.
Radio in Denver.
There it is.
That's where he's from. 9 Sports Radio in Denver. Shout out to Mike Kliss. Been doing it a long time.
Shout out,
baby Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Mike looks so cool in that headshot, too.
Yeah, he does.
Penner, new coach will report to him. This is the acting CEO of the Walmart. He's son-in-law of Rob Walton, He's been CEO for 15 years, I believe, of Walmart.
And his parents are famous sex therapists.
Okay, there we go. That lady,
Yes.
that old lady, is his.
His parents are I just know. Kind of like
the lady late night.
Kind of
Lady.
with the,
Kinda
with the
like-
vibrator.
Dr.
kind of
Ruth.
like a Meet the Fokker situation. It feels like.
Oh, this is an arranged.
Penn or Falk?
No, like Fokker, like Mr. Fokker's parents in
Okay.
the movie.
All right, anyways. So Penner's
Son
CEO
of
of Walmart, son of sex therapist,
Yep.
now running the day-to-day for the Denver Broncos in the NFL with the biggest bank that he has been the chief executive officer of for the last 15 years. New coach report to me, okay? This will be a new structure. Previously, Hackett reported to Payton. Now both report to CEO Penner, which is more typical NFL structure. Penner said, I don't know if that's the case, but I do respect and appreciate the new ownership saying, this thing has really gone to shit. So now everybody answers to us. This is whenever you get a little bit of freedom. If you don't take advantage of that and do well with that freedom, it's going to change. MCDC chatted about that with him and Brad having like freedom from Sheila Ford Hamp. Sheila Ford Hamp, man, she just kind of says, what do you need, man? And if you get that type of freedom and you do well with it, you'll be able to maintain that type of freedom. If you get it and you fail, then ownership, rightfully so, because it's a massive investment for them, it's their money, their team, they're going to start getting a little bit more handsy on the operation. And if they have success doing that, guess what's going to happen forever? They're going to be in there. And they're also going to remember forever that you didn't have success. So ownership comes in. Previous people who are all super football geniuses, right? Been a football family for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Built this mess that is not good at all. So you could see how they would potentially go, I'd like to hear what dumb shit you guys are thinking about doing, at least before you do it, okay? I don't know if Penner's going to be like saying, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. But I do believe this is probably an intel gathering mission for the people that fucking run one of the most successful businesses in the history of America. Don't love that they're necessarily going to be hands-on here, it sounds like, but I feel like they just want to learn some information on people. If they have success, people will love it. If they don't, it'll be just like Jerry Jones, where everybody's like, oh, Jerry's got to have a press conference. Jerry's got to have his hands on the roster. Jerry's got to do that. As soon as he lets go, maybe the team will do well. And who knows if that's true or not. But that said, first-time ownership, doing this is exactly what people's responses are going to be. But you could see how, if you were a Penner, you would want this to happen.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, because it does seem like, early in the season, we were getting the shots of them, like, sitting in the owner's suite, drinking wine, having a good time, like, kind of just enjoying.
This is fun, owning a
Yeah,
team.
exactly. We own an NFL
team.
And then, this season happens and Christmas is probably the nail in the coffin where it's like, all right, fuck it. I want to know everything that's going on in that fucking building. We didn't just throw away $4 billion to fucking drink wine in the press box with Lewis Hamilton. Like, that ain't happening.
Well, by the way,
Sir
no,
Lewis Hamilton.
well, and I also think Paul Antonio was up there, too.
You might have been.
Yeah, I'm not heard. So
And
there was another quote.
Condoleezza, I think, is in there too.
Potentially loves football. And this is from Nikki Javala, George Payton. We saw flashes of Russ this year. The first half of the Chargers game, the first half of the Raiders game. I don't think we made a coaching move based on Russ. It's not whether Russ is fixable or not. We do believe he is. Okay, so it is about whether Russ is fixable or not. Because you're saying he is fixable. So that's not even a question in your mind. It is a question in everybody else's mind, because we haven't seen Russell Wilson play this bad at football in a long time, seemingly making bad decisions, making bad throws, and missing people, which he didn't used to do on a different team, in a different situation, a different environment, obviously. So this is going to be a case study here. Broncos CEO Greg Penner says trading for and extending Russell Wilson was a long-term decision. We know he'll do the right work in the offseason to be ready for next year, says Jonathan Jones at JJones9. It's all very fascinating, AQ. Whenever you hear what's going on with Denver, do you think it's going to end up going good or bad for the next few years? And are Broncos fans excited right now after hearing everything that they're currently hearing?
Bad. I think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to continue to be bad. We spoke about this. I think I said it earlier in the year that you don't let Russell out of that Seattle building if you still believe Russell's Russell, right? Like, if you still believe that, you don't let him out.
Yeah.
You just don't. And they did. He's clearly not. Their offensive line situation's in shambles. Defense is really good, actually. Really good. And they're fighting, but they're pissed off at the offense. So you got a shitty culture, right? We go back to that. And then you got that. That's becoming the new norm. The new norm is owners are sitting there wanting grades, wanting to watch film with the coaches, wanting to understand this.
Oh,
Like-
invested in their business, AQ.
Jeez.
Oh, you don't
Sorry,
like?
Al.
Oh, sorry, AQ.
Donating their time.
Wow.
It's
Oh,
not a recipe
Walmart.
for
You don't
success.
think I could build a football team?
It's not a recipe for success.
You dumb meatheads don't think I can fucking figure
know
out
what I'm doing.
football?
God to Jim Irsay.
You don't think
AQ.
that's the case, bro?
I kind of wish coaches would go into those meetings with owners and just start talking scheme and ball and just asking them questions.
We're doing cover.
Hey,
so they're doing cover 2.
What do we
right
got here?
It's very clear when
You tell
Harrison,
me.
Harrison Smith comes down here. What are we running? They got cover 3, you think? Wrong. Boom. He's
moving.
Hey, what do you see here?
You know that.
We're 3x1. You tell me. What do we got
didn't
here?
we-
Huh?
did-
2x2?
Didn't we
Just
hear
three?
where you live that happens?
Yeah, Arizona does that. Remember, that was what Cliff
Yeah,
Kingsbury
Bidwell.
said.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not sure what the situation is everywhere else. Thank you for asking. But yes, every single week, me and VJ got to go in and break down our entire plan to the owner, both before the game and after the game.
He said it's been really helpful.
Yeah,
He
we've got
loves
to
it.
learn a lot
Yeah.
about a lot of
Sure
each
he
other.
loves it.
That's why they're doing it.
Sure he loves it. Sure they all love it.
With the Broncos, though, they're in the worst position it feels like in the entire league.
Colts, don't even.
No,
that's not
because
even-
Cardinals.
think about the Colts though.
Cardinals.
Yeah,
potentially.
Cardinals.
yeah.
Cardinals.
Breaking news.
Jesus.
Hey, Q.
Sorry.
That was not something that should be happening during the announcement that we're about to make, because the announcement we're about to make is a big one
Huge.
in the history of the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a man from Wisconsin who used to play tight end at Central Michigan, then transferred to Wisconsin, then was the number 11 overall pick in the entire city that he got drafted to go play football for. Booed. We don't want this thing. His name is what? What's his name?
What?
What?
And all this dude did was legitimately become a superhuman with a work ethic of 5 guys and became the best player in football for probably a 3 to 4 year run, no questions asked. That city that booed him the night he was drafted, loudly, obnoxiously, very passionately, became a city in which he would raise $41.6 million for after a devastating hurricane came through and damaged, and he became not only like a proverbial son of the city, but a goddamn god of the city for not only what he was doing off the field, obviously saving lives, but on the field, he was a member of every single sponsorship program that every business had with the Houston Texans. The growth of the Texans as a fan base and as an organization was literally on this dude's shoulders. The better he got, the bigger the Houston Texans franchise got. The better he got at football was the better the Houston Texans franchise got. Numerous playoff appearances, AFC South championships that didn't happen in the past. He was drafted to get to Payton Manning. He did that, and he got to everybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to be a part of the career that has been J.J. Watt's, both as somebody that got to stand on the other sideline and watch him scoop and score a fumble that somehow he was around and got, and then in the next drive, line up at fucking fullback, skirt out to the out, shake somebody, score a touchdown, and then when the game was on the line, somehow go sideways underneath somebody, strip sack to fucking win it. The guy was all over the place, and every time he made a play, the entire city of Houston would go bananas. Congrats to J.J. Watt on a hell of a career. Congrats on a life that is seemingly worth living with your family now, where you're ready to step away from the sport that has given you so much. J.J. Watt has announced that he is retiring via a post with his daughter and his wife, stating that it was Koa, his daughter's first NFL game, and his last ever NFL home game. Congrats, J.J. Watt. Fucking hell of a run, bro.
Yeah. JJ.
Woo! Change games, dude. J.J. Watt. Son. Sorry, Koa. Jeez, not daughter. I'm having a daughter. That's on me, 100% for me projecting that on him. J.J. Watt is one of those guys where if you get an interception from Aaron Rodgers, you get that ball, hopefully signed, and you put it on a mantle. I picked off Aaron Rodgers.
Forever.
Tom Brady, same thing. Peyton Manning, same exact thing. There isn't a lot of stuff that defensive players can do that other people that are their peers would honor and respect and want to hold in high regard. This morning I was shown a clip from 2012 of one man blocking J.J. Watt successfully and it's living on his phone, and I would assume there's a lot of other people who have done the same thing. That is what J.J. Watt was. He was a man that people were proud of to play against, and if they got the better of that person, they're telling everybody they fucking know about it whenever they're having beers. AQ, would you like to expand upon what I just talked about there? 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion. What was the clip I was just referring to?
Yeah, it was a clip in 2012. JJ comes in on a little slant stunt and tries to swim me. I got him, right? Like, when that clip happened, I remember going home and being like, I can't wait to watch that shit on film. Like, this dude was the dude. He was an absolute game wrecker for a 4 or 5 year span, and obviously he's still fucking doing it, right? Like, I mean, he's had a 4-week stretch where he's still dominant, right? And like, so his career's been incredible, but he was the game wrecker of all game wreckers for a long time, and we got to see him twice a year for a couple years when I was here. And you know, you used to go in and game plan against him, and hey, how are we going to set up our run game to attack him? How are we going to set up our pass protections to attack him, to chip him, to get help, to do all these things? And to watch what he's been able to do, and especially in that 4-year span, he was unblockable. And as you said, like, when I saved that clip has been on my phone since 2012. It has gone through 9 different phones. Every drunk time I fucking lost it, I made sure the cloud had it, right? And you know, it's one of those things where you block them and you get that and you save it, and I can look back on that and be like, hey,
having some beers, the J.J. Watt pops up. Just the name itself now is its own entity, basically. Comes up in conversation. It was like, yeah, best player of all time. Like that's AQ. Like, we all agree. This guy, we all agree. The guy. Look at this, 2012. He's not the only one doing that. No. And that's what J.J. Watt is. That's respect people have. Obviously, 12 iconic seasons, number 11 pick, 2-time NFL sacks leader, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowler, 7-time All-Pro, 111.5 career sacks, and once again, $41.6 million helped raise after Hurricane Harvey hit Houston. I mean, you're talking about just fucking did it. I think there was a time there where they put the full machine behind him.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You know, he was everywhere. J.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, J.J. Watt. Yeah, spearing people, but I think he was an actual fan of Zach Brown. Friend of Zach Brown. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about whenever they were putting him in everything. I don't think that was something he necessarily enjoyed either. Like, I think he is literally just like football player, guy, hard worker, enjoy it. But his work ethic, who he is, what he became, is an incredible story, and he has incredible personality. So I think everybody wanted to like see it everywhere. I think he would have been completely fine if nobody had a clue who the fuck he was either, which makes me respect him even more. Congrats on a hell of a career. Connor, your thoughts on old J.J. Watt?
Well, obviously, for a few years there, like you just said, he was being pushed so much. He, did basically everything, especially with, all the charity work too. But how many guys throughout, the NFL's history where there's only really one face of the franchise, and it's a defensive player. Like, it feels like even with some of the, Manning teams, they had Freeney and they had Mathis, but like the face of it, Peyton Manning. Even with the Patriot teams and the Steelers teams. The Steelers team didn't have that one defensive guy. They had that whole entire, Steel Curtain, Troy Polamalu, and, Harrison, and then even the Packers, if you think about it. Favre, which, is what it is, but back then it was a good face of the league, face of the team rather, and then right into Rodgers.
What's he talking about?
I'm talking about how Favre basically killed thousands and thousands of poor people in Mississippi. But when we're talking,
whoa, I didn't know he did that.
I'm sure there was a lot of starvation going on.
Oh, okay, you're talking,
yes, with his actions,
with the
repercussions allegedly, but
he hates Boxing Day.
Yeah, they don't celebrate.
He said
it.
we should flip it. Actually,
he's a big fan of giving empty boxes and then seeing how the poor people, their hearts just sink when they open it. And there's nothing in there.
Gotcha. Get back to work.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
It's all alleged.
Yeah, but back to J.J. Watt. Really, he was, one of the only, especially while, he was playing and the face of the Texans. Like, the NFL was turning into, offense, points, and he was still able to, continue to rip apart quarterbacks and be the, basically the anchor of Houston. I mean, it's unbelievable. And, like, that charity thing, it kind of goes, under the radar.
$41.6 million.
Still world record.
Money.
That is absurd.
World record?
Yeah, for a crowdsourcing, charity deal. Still world record.
Insane.
No, he didn't have to do it.
No, I think he set the goal at 200,000. That's like how much they and it provided like 26 million deals.
Yeah, they did.
Got that done.
Way to go.
Yeah. And D linemen, like you mentioned, like linemen, they don't in AQ, like they don't look for the accolades or like the spotlight or anything. But he was so fucking good, it was impossible not to give it to him.
Yeah,
like, one of those highlights was a fade, dude. Like he got a fade.
He was shaking people.
Yeah.
We're talking shaking. And it felt like when you played the Texans, ball always ended up in his hands. I'm like, how the fuck is he there? Like, we had to play him a lot in a lot of games, big games, very important games. So I got to witness it almost. But there's like numerous times watching live where me and Vinny are like, why is that guy how is he 15 yards down the field and just got an interception?
Yeah.
Why would he even be there? It was like, the guy was just a magnet for the play. Just a magnet for the play. Everywhere a play needed to be made, J.J. Watt was going to make it. Helmet, no helmet, broken nose, whatever you need. I'm going to hop in a Wisconsin frozen lake in the offseason so I can work harder. The J.J. Watt experience on the football field is coming to an end soon. Hard Knocks should have something on this, we would assume, this evening on HBO or tomorrow night on HBO. But look at his catch, dude. Gets both feet done. Give me that.
D-line.
Bang. Pow.
Boom.
Knee down.
Derwin James yesterday.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. We saw a lot of him. This is the Colts. Yep. Somehow scores this. Yeah. He had to be down, didn't he? He had to be down. Then they run a review. He was not. He was not down. Fourth quarter right there. Need it. Yeah. Then he does. That was when Dougie was at. He went and did that up on the bench, actually. He ran to the sideline, hopped on the bench, did that. I think he scored an offensive touchdown in that game as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was fucking banana land playing against J.J. Watt whenever he was fucking the J.J. Watt. And obviously he goes to Arizona and hopes to bring them a championship. And I'm not sure if one player or 20 players will be enough to do that with the way that building's currently being run. But congratulations on a hell of a run, J.J.
Yeah, JJ.
We'll get A.J. Hawk's take on the J.J. Watt retirement on the other side of this break. We'll talk more about all the things happening around the NFL. We'll have In the Trenches. Greg Joseph, kicker for the Vikings, who hit a 61-yard game winner this past weekend against the Giants.
Damn.
He's had a couple of those this year where this dude's awesome. From South Africa.
Wild.
He's going to have an accent.
He's a
Tone, can you please give us a little taste of what Greg Joseph is probably going to sound like?
What's up, Bruce? Good to be here. Kick 61 yards. It was a good kick. What's up, Bruce?
Thank you.
Boom. Well said.
People
Made
South
a flyer.
Africa.
Is Greg Joseph here already?
I think we have,
Hold on.
No, that was Tone.
Oh.
That was not a voiceover of Greg Joseph.
I hold kicking comps. Made a lot of flyers, but my mom didn't pass out the flyers, so nobody showed up.
So the stats told us
That's him.
that like 7 people listen in South Africa. We're going to hear from
They
him.
nailed it.
Yeah.
We're going to hear from him for
They're
that.
gonna be pumped.
Pumped.
I mean,
What's up, Bruce?
that's close right there.
Let's close our eyes. Hold on. Close your eyes and think if you hear tink tink here.
Okay.
Also South African, right?
Yeah.
Pour a little tink tink.
Yep.
What's up, Bruce? Told me there's no sign up at all. Paper clips sparking everywhere, fucking all over. And then they set me up. Someone came in my bathroom and they set me up.
Can
There
you
was
yell
no
freeze?
freeze.
Yeah, that guy killed his
What's
girlfriend.
up, Bruce?
Yeah.
Oh, that is him.
Yep.
That's him.
Pastorius.
Yep.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Okay, you're really good. Thank you for
Thank
doing
you.
that for us, Diggs.
Thank you,
Okay,
Tom.
anyways, there's a lot more where that came from when Greg Joseph joins us in 21 minutes or so. And we do apologize. We understand it's probably insensitive to somebody, but also I got a pretty good pop out of it, so
And it happens.
love for you to laugh.
Sorry.
We do apologize.
Yeah, it happens. So,
Both what Cat Williams said and what government papers said.
That's right.
Court filings.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor little tink tink sign up all the way. Tink tink tink. There's 42,000 people watching this right now. That's good.
good Lord.
Can't wait to see how many we pissed off with that whole thing.
Hopefully all of them.
We didn't kill him, you know?
Her.
Or her.
No.
Is he still alive?
Oh, yeah.
He's in jail, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do they have, he does not get metal ones, obviously. Do they have like a spork version of those?
Yeah.
No,
it's
he
like
has to
styrofoam.
just nub around the mess hall and the.
They gave it to him originally.
Really?
They made shivs out of it.
All right.
He didn't just get like 2 peg legs like a pirate?
That'd be sweet.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I hope that happened for him.
Can't risk it.
That's what they should do.
They should just weld his nubs onto, like, skateboards and just let him just fly around that place.
Good Lord.
Skiing?
Yeah.
Weld them?
He's just skiing.
Yeah, exactly.
But he has like instead of like a paddle, he's got a plunger on the so it can stick to the concrete
Yep.
floor.
And then he's got to stop.
Yeah.
We don't know if any of that's true.
No.
They use them to unclog the toilets.
Skateboards is a great idea.
Right.
Or like a hoverboard.
Hey, Oscar, you clog the fucking.
I still don't, honestly,
Unclog.
we are massive Olympic fans.
Huge.
Yes.
Love the Olympics.
If you follow our show during the, just wait, by the way. Just wait until you hear our take on the Olympics. It is.
That take you had on Nathan Chen was incredible.
I was spot on. Spot on. Wait till you hear us talk about the Olympics. We love it. I still to this day think Pistorius had quite an advantage over everybody else.
Yeah.
As the races went on, he was like the feel-good story of it all, and you weren't allowed to say it, but he was clearly cheating. He had zero chance of a calf cramp, an Achilles blowing out, anything happened on his foot. What are you laughing about?
Oh, he's
Real.
right.
They were tightening his fucking thing up
Yeah.
because he was getting in better. His legs were getting better as he was
Rev it
going
up.
on. That fucker was flying. It was an incredible story.
It was.
I was so incredibly impressed by it. But I was wondering about what all the other sprinters are probably thinking. Like, oh yeah, I got a cramp in the middle of my foot during the last 200 meter or whatever. Like that did this guy like that was
Sharpening
probably
his
happening.
blades.
So then he kills his girlfriend or whatever, and then everybody was allowed to come out and say that. So that's good.
Well, and before he was running, he was out there in like the time trials, and they had him. He was fucking pole vaulting without the pole and the high jump, just bouncing off those things and flying 400 feet into the air,
That
and
can't work.
landing safely on the thing. It's like, hey, this guy has got this is a disadvantage. Okay, no
Springs
one
in
else
his
can
shoes.
jump 600 feet into the air.
We will say though, incredibly motivating story.
Absolutely.
Okay, motivating, inspiring.
Well,
You can accomplish literally anything if you put your mind to it with enough work ethic. You just can't kill your fiance.
No, you can't.
kind of a dipshit too when you think about it, because why not be the greatest Paralympian of all time? Instead
Yeah,
of,
that's
win a
what our
bronze?
big thing was. Like, I feel like
Don't use your metal limbs to do it either.
I can't do it in jail. We did find out earlier in it.
Think about
We'll put
speed skating.
Could you imagine him and Paulo
Oh my
Antonio?
god.
Paulo Antonio with those massive fucking quads. You ever see them?
Oh,
They
yeah.
do?
Yeah. Look like Saquon Barkley.
You imagine they ground and pound you at your little fight club, but Paulo Antonio shows up. He gets those things around you, pal.
Well, he doesn't.
He's
go
fucking
anymore.
just locking them in.
He-
Pop
he-
your head
He
like a
doesn't.
watermelon.
He doesn't. He stopped going. Doesn't
Jay
go.
Glazer's back. I saw him. He's in snow in Los Angeles.
Yep.
Nah, I think he's on vacation right now. It's his birthday. Shout out.
Happy birthday, Jay!
Yeah, he's with Strahan in the Galapagos. I think I saw.
Is that where it's at?
Let's take a break. AJ Hawk will be on the other side. I'm happy we covered everything. We got it off our chest. We don't know if any of the things we said in that first hour were true.
Pure speculation.
JJ Watt is retiring.
Yeah, that was true.
Allegedly, from his tweet.
Colts aren't good. Also true.
Might be the worst team in the NFL.
Might get number one pick.
Yeah.
Might never be good again.
This is the right year to have number one pick, too, I've been told so.
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
they have that bona fide Trevor Lawrence in the draft.
Let's get to a break. The fingerprints of the gods. I can't. I was trying to find some positive to say about the Colts there to wrap it up so we can kind of go out on a high note. Everything I was about to say, my brain was counteracting with, nah, not with what you just heard last night. Nah, not what you
You
just
said
heard.
the halftime show was sweet.
Yeah, good halftime show.
Good at some show.
Cheerleaders had Jabberwocky type costumes on. They had lights on them, drum bit, and they did a full holiday. It looked like an America's Got Talent type.
That's pretty sweet.
Only half the stadium could watch it, though.
That was something we started nitpicking a little bit because the back had no lights on it. So the front had lights. So if you're looking from the front, cool. Back had really no upside other than be a part of the show. Download the Colts app. Push join light show.
Right.
Was it like this?
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah, no sound though, no sound.
But it was like that.
And they had a drum.
Anthem was sweet too. All the
Anthem,
music.
saxophone.
Yeah.
Oh,
All the music.
Trey Daniels is old buddy's name, I do believe. If Zito showed me the right name and I'm remembering it correctly right now, when we should have let off the show with him. Saxophone national anthem. Proper amount of sauce.
Okay.
Proper amount of sauce.
Slaughter.
Not too much. Not too much. Let's not get crazy.
It was a proper anthem.
Proper amount of, had the whole stadium, woo,
yeah.
during the whole thing. Even Jeff Saturday showed up on the big Jumbotron, screens in the corner. We'll stop calling them Jumbotrons.
Sure.
Yeah.
The screens in the corner.
Yep.
Jeff Saturday gets shown, they do shots around there. Jeff's, all right, man, about the guy on the sacks, as everybody else was. Incredible show off the field yesterday. Blue hit the throw.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Kringle hit the fucking anvil.
Oh, yeah.
They had a better Santa wearing a blue Santa costume, also in Santa.
Claws hit the anvil.
Yeah, Chris Kringle did.
No.
Fucking 3 times.
Bang.
Yeah, he's on vacation now.
Yeah, I was saying, there's your problem. Guy just got done. I mean, you're making him work day after Christmas.
No days off for Santa, Tony.
He gets a week.
He does get a week.
Nope.
No, now people are recreating at a rapid rate. You think Santa used to be able to breathe a little bit? He's right back on that naughty nice list.
That's right.
But he hit the anvil because he fucking wanted to bring some holiday spirit.
I get that.
Yeah. Ursay.
Got the Chargers in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
It was very nice.
First time.
My
That's
Santa,
awesome.
Paul Giamatti gets a week break.
Well, little Santa is bouncing boot to boot still.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a great point.
Why the hell would he take it?
All right, let's get to hour 2. This show sucks. Here's Jeff. What up, Jeff? Hey,
Come
Pat.
say hi.
Hey, good to see my friend. Wait, I should probably coach the team trying to score some points. Never mind.
Hey, baby Jeff!
That was his thought process.
Baby Jeff.
Oh, hey, Pat. Hey.
Come on.
Can I get a burger? Fuck. All right, never mind. I'll go coach.
He almost hit sweet lady right there who's been security for the Colts Stadium for a long time. What up, Jeff? Hey, what up,
The
baby?
little banana cut. Yeah. Heading your way. Fuck. Got to coach.
All right. Let's get to hour 2. AJ Hawk will be on the other side. We'll also be joined by Greg Joseph from South Africa. We've already heard what that's going to sound like. Should be good. Be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5! Big bump this week.
This might be the biggest one all year. Check out Trey Smith. This guy went in the 6th round because he had some medical history coming out of college, out of Tennessee. He was the best guard, I thought, in the draft. Guy plays like a dog.
Now he's putting medical history in other people's hands.
That's what he's doing.
That's right.
Big bump, big bump.
Here we go. Okay, we're going to work inside. Let's be a good guard. Let's help my center for a second. Now, let's get our eyes back outside.
Holy shit, AJ.
First class ticket to Big Bump
Is that
City.
illegal?
That's 100% legal.
Nah, it seems illegal.
What do they say in basketball, right? They tell the point guard
shit get hit.
not to come in the paint, right? And then they tell the point guard, don't come in the paint. Hey, corners. Sorry, D-Butt. Hey, corners. Stay out of the trenches.
There's big bodies in there. There's people with bad intentions in there. Boom.
Dear Coach Freeman, sing it with me, baby. This is how we do it, la 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 la. Coach Freeman, I know I've been hard on you, but like Montel Jordan says in that great song, this is how we do it, baby. That's Notre Dame football. That's what it's all about. If you notice, our next day aired a Clemson helmet to my office here because I've been pissing and pooping in that thing all weekend, using it as my own personal toilet. Just like you guys use the Clemson Tigers as your own personal toilet on Saturday night. Everybody's saying, hey, Coach Sweeting, he's the best, he's the greatest, he's the best coach of all, he's the best recruiter. Well, guess what you did? You took that boy, put him over your lap, and you fucking spanked his ass. Not only that, you take that DJ ooey ugly lay, and you made him one sad ooh. That's Notre Dame football. Listen, we've had a tough season, okay? There's no two ways about it. And you knew there would be scrutiny. You knew old Coach Lou would be coming after you if you lose games to teams like Marshall and Stanford. But what's the best way to drown that out? By beating the shit out of Clemson and dashing their college football playoff hopes. And speaking of the college football playoff, yeah, we might not be going this year. We don't have a good enough record. You know that. I know that. Everyone who prays the touchdown Jesus knows that. But when they move to 12 teams and you play like you did yesterday, Oh boy, are them fighting Irish gonna be shitting pretty, baby. I'm a God-fearing man, everyone knows that, just like you are, and I don't have many vices. But boy, have I been enjoying a nice cigar and a nice ride on route ever since we won, baby. You did this for me, Coach. This is what you did. You should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of those boys. And with everybody talking about conference realignment, I have a simple request, or maybe just something to ponder. We're already in the ACC in basketball. Maybe consider joining the ACC for football, too. I know we're independent. I know we get a lot of money from being independent. But you fucking own everybody in the ACC. Clemson, Florida State, NC State, North Carolina. Shit, it doesn't matter who you put in front of us, okay? If you go to the ACC, mark my words, you're going to be going to the college football playoff every single year. Keep it up, Coach. I love you. I'm proud of you. And let's get this going, okay? What do you think? What I saw on Saturday, that's how a Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team is supposed to play. You were tough, you were intelligent, you were smart, you were all the things you need to do to win. And because you won, you let good old Coach Lou enjoy a nice Cohiba. And I got this drink in my cup. And there's nothing better than that, baby. Go Fighting Irish. Go get them next week. Signed, Coach Lou Holtz.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 27, 2022, Hour 2 will start right now. Football! Wrapped up its 16th weekend of an 18-weekend season last night as the Chargers stamped their ticket to the playoffs, beating the Indianapolis Colts right here in Indiana. We don't need to talk about that anymore. The Chargers look great. Congrats to Justin Herbert, Brandon Staley, Derwin James, and the boys.
Oh, yeah.
Talks tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys looking better than we've ever seen him. Woo. Ladies and gentlemen, father of one, Tone Diggs.
Hey.
Tony, you look cool.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So cool.
Those boots. Oh.
Those boots are made for looking. And that's just what they do. Because whenever you walked right here, we were all looking right at you.
That's right.
You look so good, dude.
Well, I can't take credit for that. I mean, they show me commercials during Yellowstone, and I buy.
Smart.
Thank you, Yellowstone.
Thank you, Taking every single one of Tony's bets.
Host of right now he's everything's going right for Tone right now. Let's remember that whenever he's talking on Hammer, Dahn, and here. Host in the trenches, 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipley's here.
Wow.
And joining us live from Manatee, Ohio, is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor, father of 10, AJ Hawk. AJ, thank you so much for joining us on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Greg Joseph will be joining us in 6 minutes, so don't need you to lead into that or whatever. We have nothing but time here. 6 minutes is a lot of time. I don't know if it's enough time, but I think it's a proper amount of time to go ahead and give you kind of the floor because there was massive news broke this morning on Twitter whenever J.J. Watt tweeted that his son's first ever game, Koa, will be his last ever home game and said thank you to everybody. And we're like, oh, shit, J.J. Watt's retiring. And that's kind of how he went about announcing this, which is, I think, pretty epic.
Yeah,
that
sweet.
it's not some grand production. It's not this massive ordeal. It's just a tweet saying, hey, I appreciate you all. This is going to happen. Would like to let everybody know. What a run for a guy. What a player. What a face of the league there for a while. 4 or 5 years, AQ and I were just chatting about best player in football.
By far.
He was defense. All feints,
What?
blocking kicks on special teams. Obviously raised $41.6 million for charity for the city of Houston after Hurricane Harvey. Became the face of the city of Houston. I don't necessarily think he needed it or wanted it, but was okay with the title because everything that came alongside being number 99 for Houston. Goes to Arizona. I think a lot of us thought that maybe it was going to be able to be a change of pace for the Cardinals. Maybe they're going to be able to get over the hump, have real success, bring in the J.J. Watt. Haven't been able to do that. Don't think one player, 10 players, 20 players would have been able to do that with everything happening over there. But what a run, what a career. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, A.J. Hawk. What are your thoughts on J.J. Watt and his contributions to the National Football League, A.J.?
The first question I would have, where would the Houston Texans organization be if J.J. wasn't there? If they didn't draft him and he didn't just go on a tear for 8-9 years in a row, it seems like, over there.
Yeah, and everybody's going to say, well, they're not really in a good spot now, and they traded away DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of balls, and J.J. opted out of his final year of his contract when they were in the middle of transition, and I know they just got a big-time win over the Titans, and they were close with the Chiefs and close with the Cowboys, but their franchise is in a bad spot, but they're in a bad spot because just a few years back, they were competing for the AFC South. They were in the playoffs. They were making runs, which is back to your point. J.J. definitely, as he got bigger and better, the Texans franchise as a whole did the same, correlating perfectly alongside of it, A.J.
Yeah, and we've talked about it on here in the past. You go play the Texans back then. J.J.'s on every page of the program, and, he's not asking for that to happen. But, yeah, he was the team. He was the squad. And they can move him around, too. I think that's what made him so special. He's very versatile and dynamic. Yeah, he's going to line up inside a D tackle, but he can pop out to end. Might stand up in a 2-point. Like you said, pick up, interceptions, picks, everything this dude did. Right there, I was in that game. This guy took over. I remember when he did that, when he did the belt right there. I was like, all right, well, we know this dude's a dude, obviously.
I remember when he did the belt and then threw the belt. And that was one of those things I think we learned from Mike Dupps is that JJ is talking a heavy amount of shit to himself, to other people, to his teammates. He's an animated character. I feel like he thought it was an emotional game, an emotional sport, and he, kind of epitomized all of it. AQ, he ever talk shit to you? You ever say, your arm's way too short? Yeah. There ain't no way you're going to be able to beat me, pal.
I don't remember, but, man, I remember how good he was. I mean, listen, it's funny. I remember, we were getting ready to play him, and I think the week before they played the Patriots, and they were using fucking tennis rackets. Bill Belichick, greatest coach of all time, was using tennis rackets to simulate him swatting the balls.
JJ
slide. I mean, that's never been done before. When did you ever just, use props to fucking demonstrate what a player's going to do in practice, right?
Well, there's that one time the Colts, they had that the robotic tackling dummy.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do. Oh, yeah. That's still around.
We were the first, though. There's actually an article written about how the Colts are the first NFL team to utilize the robotic tackling dummy. That fucker get rolling 13, 14 miles an hour.
Elusive. Tear an ACL.
Covered a kickoff in practice.
Really?
Almost killed Tom McMahon. Tom McMahon was standing down at the end talking to the returner. That thing came flying in full speed. Whoever was controlling it, I don't know if they were fucking with Tom or just couldn't get to stop as quick. That thing took Tom McMahon out big time. I mean, legs up from underneath him, it's gone. Then they moved it over to another tackling drill. But I get your point. The respect was still there.
It was unbelievable.
No human could potentially showcase what this JJ SWAT is. We got to practice it. Congrats to him. That's fucking crazy. He did it via that tweet, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I wonder the timing, why he didn't just wait till the end, or I don't know. He had a hell of a game, though, so why not? I know they didn't win, but that dude was all over the place.
His last few games, he's been dominant. And we talked about this a little bit ago. If he knew he was going to retire, and the way he talked about his child in the messages we've kind of sent back and forth since him finding out that I'm, going to have a child and everything like that, the messages that he sent about how he felt whenever he saw everything like that, it seems like he is ready and excited to be fucking,
full time
dad. You know what I mean? Very excited to live his life. But if you're going to go out, you'd like people to remember, hey, game wrecker.
Yeah, still got
Let's remember game wrecker. And also not just fans, coaches to remember, week 10 comes around 2 years from now.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a thought like, you remember JJ his last couple games? Oh yeah, still had he's been rested now for a little bit, still got it. And I'm not saying he's doing that business wise to hedge on it, but it is nice to go off into the sunset with others thinking you still got it and you still thinking you still got it, because I'm not saying that he ever questioned it, but what he's been doing he did this 3 times. Same move, 2 different dudes, same result every time. Tackle for loss. This guy's doing this fucking 12 years in. He's still doing this thing. It's nice to remember, I assume.
It's kind of a shame because I saw it happen last year when there was like 2 games left and Ben said, hey, this is pretty much my last thing, and then he got the send-off at home. It's a shame that JJ doesn't get like a send-off in Houston, because that would have been just as special, I think, like as Ben's last game in Hines was last year.
Yeah, I wonder if you think he'll have to. They'll put a statue of him up there in Houston.
Yeah, he'll go back, get Ring of Honor,
Bloody
number,
face.
retired, everything. Yeah.
You think he'll punch himself in the nose? Right
No, the statue should have bloody face.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Like instead of water
Yeah.
pouring out, they should just have
Blood.
died blood or real blood the entire time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, a fountain?
Yeah.
That'd be
Is it going to be him dancing, you think, or is it going to be him doing the squat? What do you think it's going to be?
Good question.
Flexing, maybe.
Yeah, that.
Maybe they'll recreate the frozen lake.
The salute.
Oh, him sitting in there?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
salute.
Dude, I've seen him.
He did the salute,
It's
right?
big now. People love infrared saunas and cold tubs now.
Dude, he fucking touchdown, okay? Touchdown. Woo! Doing that whole thing. Here's the bench, runs back. This is the bench right here. Jumps up on the fucking bench, metal bench on cleats, to the crowd. Like this, the whole place was just going. He was literally a maestro for the whole fucking city at times. Houston, if he was to go back there, obviously he never wanted to leave. It would go crazy. I don't know how they're going to be able to get a team good enough to, perform in a fashion that'd be worthy of a J.J. Watt retirement ceremony there. But congrats to J.J. hell of a career.
Baby JJ.
Good work, JJ.
AJ, your thoughts on last night's game? The Chargers are in the playoffs. Justin Herbert's going to get the opportunity to shine in the most watched games and the most important games at his playoffs for the first time in his career. Brandon Staley in the playoffs for the first time in his career as a head coach. Congrats to the whole team over there, putting in a lot of work. Ownership, Tom Telesco going all in, bringing in key pieces on the defensive side. Have had injuries. Now they're in the playoffs. 20-3 last night on the road in Indianapolis against a team that gets paid money to play. Surprisingly, if you're watching it, they do. Dominant win, going into the playoffs. What are your thoughts on the Chargers, AJ?
I like the Chargers. Obviously, I like what Justin Herbert is able to do, and Austin Eckler just scores touchdowns whenever you turn a game on, no question, it feels like.
We should.
Yeah, you said 2+. Should have done, what, 2 touchdowns for Eckler?
It was talked about, but I didn't want that type of bad
I mean, you could
mojo.
do that with everyone. Every single time we don't hit, we could easily go back like, oh, we should have done this, should have done that.
Well, Deion Jackson getting introduced as a starter on the offense. First player intro.
Yeah.
First player intro, AJ. You hear me?
Yeah.
Light show, lights Dahn, music blaring, intros taking place. Your starting offense for this evening, number 35, out of Duke, Deion Jackson.
Have you come to the conclusion on why that happened?
Why did that happen?
Well, I mean, you've told the truth about the team this year on this program. They know what the Super Boost was. They introduced him first on purpose, and then they gave him no carries on purpose.
Jeff.
That could potentially be happening. I don't know if Jeff Saturday's doing that, but it feels like the Colts
No,
season.
that didn't come from Jeff.
It was certainly smack right in the mouth, it felt like. But I don't know why he wasn't in there. A Super Boost should have hit. All I take away from it is a lot of good players on that Colts team. You're reminded whenever you see him live in warm-ups, walking around, you're like, that's a fucking all-pro. That's a Pro Bowl. That's a Pro Bowl. That guy's built good. Why does the team stink? We don't know. Let's pivot to a team that is very good this year, and people are just going to have to understand that when a team can win, even in their days in which they don't play the greatest, that is maybe the best trait to have as a team. In this team, number 2 in the NFC right now. Winning games whenever they're down 33-zip at halftime. This past weekend, beating the New York Giants on a last-second field goal of 61 yards. The man who kicked that ball is the kicker for the red-hot Minnesota Vikings team. Ladies and gentlemen, out of FAU, Greg Joseph.
Greg!
What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing, Pat?
Okay, so we looked into this. You're from South Africa. Is the South African accent something that is still very strong? Because I saw you went to high school in America, right? Did you lose the accent? Do you still have the accent? And how many people, as soon as you speak it, get it right or wrong with where you're from?
So no accent. I moved to Florida when I was 7. So my mom said within 3 months of school, accent was gone. So I got a couple texts leading up to this about you thinking I was going to have an accent. So can't have it starting off on the wrong foot. So I have to just let you down easy right there. No accent. No one really can tell I'm from South Africa or anything, but whole family. Parents have the accent, grandparents have the accent, and everything like that.
So, by the way, you didn't let us down.
No.
Proud of you, man. Happy for you living your own life, being whoever you are. We apologize just for immediately judging, and we're a part of the problem, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're a part of the problem. We read your Wikipedia, Johannesburg. Holy shit, he's going to sound exactly like.
So, Bruce, it's a real shame you kicked your accent. I can't kick my accent. It's something I've been trying to do. It's all good, bro.
Is that what a South African accent sounds like? That was our only preface coming into this thing. Is that anywhere near what your parents sound like?
No, a bit more Australian than what my parents sound like right there.
Disrespectful.
What? Come on.
You're disrespectful.
I've been told it's more New Zealand, but
anyways, we appreciate you joining us. Congrats on being a success story. Obviously, anybody that makes it to the NFL is awesome, especially when you're from another country coming in. Learn about football, I assume, as a child. You always played soccer, and you just had a massive leg. How did you kind of stumble upon becoming a kicker who now has a 61-yard game winner in his record books in the NFL?
Yeah, it's just the typical kind of story. High school soccer player, played travel and thought I was going to go to college for it, and football coach walks out, says, "Hey, you're one of the bigger kids. You want to try out for the football team? You want to start kicking some footballs?" And my buddy had done it previously, so I said, "Absolutely, why not?" And let's go for it. And haven't kind of blinked, and now I'm here. Haven't looked back since.
Hell yeah, good to see.
How do you your journey in the NFL has been an interesting one? Like, as kickers, how do you maintain confidence and continue to believe in what you can do? And obviously you're showing now on the field like what you can do, and you're a monster.
To follow up with what AJ's saying, Miami Dolphins 2018, Cleveland Browns 2018, Panthers 2019, Titans 2019, Bucks 2020, Minnesota Vikings last year and this year. Now, just to put a little context to the answer that he's about to give, because that's a really good question, AJ.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I'm thankful for it. No one wants to get cut, no one wants to have that feeling, but the journey's the journey, and I wouldn't change mine for the world. So I had just known that I was so new to kicking. Even in college, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just working hard. Yep. So I knew that after I got cut after my rookie year by the Browns or let go by the Titans, that I hadn't really reached my ceiling yet. So I just go back to work, go back to the drawing board, and go from there. And I love it here in Minnesota. We have a great building, great people, and it's just I don't even think I'm there yet. I still have more work to put in because I have levels that I still, and goals I still want to hit. But journey's been pretty crazy and pretty cool in the same breath.
What you work on? What you get better at? Plant foot, ball contact? What are you working on mostly?
Probably ball contact and the immediate follow through, for sure.
What were you doing? You're pulling too quick, huh?
Yeah, and then if I wasn't pulling too quick, then trying to get under, sometimes I catch a little more ground than I want.
When did you find it in one workout? Did it just kind of click and your body said, okay, this is what we got to do, or was it like a series?
Yeah, it was probably, it wasn't probably one workout. It was, just over time, just working on it. And, with the help of coaches and eyes that can see kicking, Justin Medlock is a coach of mine.
Hell yeah.
He's awesome,
UCLA
dude.
Legend.
UCLA legend, sees it in a way that not many other people see it. So I always, send film to him and pick his brain, and along with many others. But he's an awesome guy that's been by my side throughout the whole ride.
He was punter kicker, I think both. Right? Wasn't he?
I don't know if he punted, but definitely All-American. I drafted the Chiefs and had a great career up in Canada.
I think he was unbelievable at both. Nonetheless, great name. Hey, shout out Medlock, dude. Hey, I appreciate you too, Medlock. I used to watch your film. Whenever you hit that 61-yarder, it's good distance-wise. That's no problem at all. You just had to hit You just had to make solid contact, and you were good.
That's all I was, focused on. I had my aiming point. It went right down my line, and so once I looked up and saw it on that line, I, felt good, and knew it was good, and then just watched it through.
Did you black out afterwards, or?
Yeah, blacked out. You know how it is, blacked out. I'm not really one to run away from my lineman and celebrate, but I think Ryan pushed me, and then I was like, well, let's go for a jog, and try to pull a little Ronaldo celebration.
Yeah, I respect it a lot, dude. Not a lot of people have a 61-yard game 61-yarder in game enough, let alone 61-yard game winner that matters, right? I mean, your team is hot right now. The Vikings are hot right now. You were there last year. You're there this year. What have you seen from the team from a kicker's perspective? You know what I mean? We get to kickers, punters, and I was always fascinated by the fact that TV people were never interested in what the kickers or punters had to say. We're front row in every team meeting, every practice. We're in there for the post game. And if you're having a good season and you're a kicker or punter, it doesn't matter if the team's having a good season or not. Like, you're in there, you're riding their wave. What has it been like with KOC, you think, versus maybe last year? And why do you think this team's having so much success?
I think just because, I mean, how close we are, and not just trying to say that, but everyone in that locker room is positive. Everyone's got each other's back. And the atmosphere that KO has created, and cultivated, it's unbelievable. From the first day he walked in and he told us, what he wanted to put together as a team and who he's looking for, as a men to have in the locker room and who he is as a man, he has stuck to it. So I have a huge amount of respect for him in that aspect. And then, guys like Thielen holding everyone accountable, Pat P, Eric Kendricks, the list goes on of just vets helping rookies and vets helping vets. And it's fun, when winning games is fun, and when you can do it with guys that you've truly bonded with and you're close with, it's a blessing. And then taking a step back, from this past weekend, I'm just happy I was able to help the team and help those guys, because it's grateful is just something that I've been feeling lately, extremely grateful and just a blessing. So I'm happy to do it for this team, and it makes me work harder. I think everyone in that locker room just work harder and harder for each other.
Yeah, it's nice to contribute, right? You feel like, hey, I got my opportunity to contribute to this incredible group, and I showed up for them. It's like, it's a fulfilling feeling, and also I think everybody's getting a chance to witness that you're all in with them every single time you step on the field. That whole team being tight is such a value. You have anybody just late to meetings over there ever? Team meetings? Just showing up late, not showing up at all?
No, not really at all. And
yeah, that doesn't happen. Like that there's some things like that happen in other places, and that you've been around to a lot of different buildings in your short career. I hope everybody over there, and we're assuming they are because of how veteran-led your team is. Like, man, what you guys have right now, fucking hold it as near and dear as you possibly can. Let's take advantage of it because everybody's looking for it. Ty has a question for you, Greg.
Greg, growing up in Florida, and obviously you've played in some cold weather cities now, but have you completely acclimated to having to kick outside for a couple weeks? I assume your confidence obviously is through the roof right now, but is it a little bit of a mental mindfuck when you go from playing, and kicking indoors this week, and then next week you guys are in Green Bay? Does that change anything mentally for how you're preparing going into the game?
No, I'll just prepare outside. Obviously it's cold here too, and we'll be practicing outdoor this week. So I'm just going to prepare the same way I would for any other game, and just prepare in the climate that we're going to play in.
Yeah, it's going to suck. Like everybody, it's going to suck for everybody that has to do it. Can you tell me about Ryan Wright a little bit? This rookie out of Tulane who murders footballs. This guy, I think I called a punt that he had on a Thursday night game. I think they're playing Houston. He hit like a 70-some yarder out of bounds in the fourth. I want bananas for him. Now he's doing the same thing for you guys. This guy's unbelievable, Greg. Unbelievable. Yeah. What's he like as a human?
Good kid. Good kid, open to learning. Athlete. We've seen him sling it, over in London. Okay. And I thought he was BSing us when he was saying, he was a 3-star quarterback coming out, but he can launch the ball.
Baby, Ryan.
Yeah, he can launch the ball, obviously, with his foot or his arm. And, puts in the work, takes learning, helps. He's getting help from Depot and I where we can help him, but he's doing well. He's confident in what he does, and it's showing.
Hell yeah.
Hey, do you have any idea if your coach was offended when he was called Harry Potter? Is that right?
Styles.
Harry Styles. Yeah.
Okay.
Much different. Harry Styles, absolute superstar. Do you have any idea if he was offended or he thought that was a compliment?
I have no idea. So no comment there.
Smart, Greg. Keep doing it. Keep enjoying it. I hope the locker room continues to be tight. I hope you guys continue to play great. It's been fun to watch. Congrats on everything, buddy.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me, and keep doing what you guys doing. I love seeing the positivity and the fun you guys have here.
Greg, our show sucks, all right? You keep going. We appreciate you. You're an American dream story, Greg. You need to know that. Minnesota Vikings kicker, man, it just hit a 61-yard game winner. Not a lot of people could say that. Greg Joseph. Thank you.
Greg!
Yeah, I knew it was in as soon as I saw it. Yeah.
Right online.
And then I just blacked out. Yeah, I mean, I lost my mind. What do you want from me? That's a long ball. That is a very.
Hey, would you be offended when they put a guy back to return it?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that would happen.
I figured that. From 61, though? I mean, it makes sense from 61.
Yeah, so for me, I've always been and this is probably why I never became an NFL kicker, really. I was never going to miss short, okay? You're going to see me miss left or miss right, but nobody's going to be able to hang over my head that I missed short. Now, in doing that, there were certainly some kicks that probably weren't hit as clean, as they probably could have been or should have been. So they're just doing what they got to do. But, yeah, I had a mentality, and it sounds like he's not worried about somebody being back there. That just means they get a less person to put pressure on the kick, which is even better. Maybe add a little half a second to see the ball a little bit more. What a kicker, what a run. Minnesota Vikings have the football gods on their side. Yes. Have to remember that. And it sounds like they're doing everything right behind the scenes. That's great to hear about that team loving each other and all the vets holding the vets accountable and all the young guys accountable. I love hearing that, AJ.
I do too, but I'm wondering, aren't they underdogs against the Packers?
Yeah.
How is that, or why is that, do you think? Why do you think
They've
odds
been underdogs
makers?
a couple times.
Packers are hot.
Lions, Cowboys.
So they don't trust them?
both of them.
The Vikings?
The bookmakers still don't trust the Vikings?
No.
Yeah, it feels like they just know when an egg might be coming. Because that Cowboys line was weird, and then they lost 40-3.
And the Lions, they won as well.
Oh, yeah, they have a pretty good beat on the Vikings, you're saying?
Feels that way.
I don't know. Let's get to a break. On the other side, let's do In the Trenches.
Hell yeah.
Love In the Trenches.
Let's go.
You excited for that or what?
Yeah, let's go.
Do we have enough time, you think?
I think so.
I didn't even know Al was still awake. I thought he was taking.
I asked him if you wanted to ask Greg Joseph a question. He said,
Weren't they teammates?
Kicker.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
We forgot to
There's
ask
so
about
many-
Pistorius.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought you could ask him
We
about
didn't have
that.
the accent.
I wanted
so
to
that
ask him
kinda-
which Harry Potter was his favorite. That was a good.
That was a good.
Well, it was the
lead-in.
wrong quote, though. It was Harry Styles.
Yeah, what's his favorite Harry Styles song?
Did you bury you were burying Kevin O'Connell there?
Not even close. I honestly wasn't sure which Harry it was.
Yeah, two respective legends. I mean, Potter was
come
one
on
of the
now.
greatest wizards of all time, and Harry Styles is a doubt.
Yeah, but I'm surprised you didn't go hey, do you think Kevin O'Connell basically is he offended by being called Jared Fogle? That's almost
true.
how
That's
you.
not at all. That's not even close to what
I know it's vastly
Jared
different.
Fogle has no. I know you're always toxic, but and you always have Fogle on your mind. But I would not have ever used Fogle in that situation. I know you were in a VIP section with him once. So
That guy was living a dream.
Yeah, he was.
did he have the jeans with him? Did he bring the big jeans?
No, everybody knew.
Yeah.
He didn't have
Yeah.
to do that little song and dance in public because everybody knew who he was.
Yep.
That guy was getting bottles comped, living his best life.
Did you just
And
say
he was
Fogle?
just one of the most
Yeah.
disgusting guys
What a
of all
fucking
time.
piece of shit that guy was.
Just happened.
But
It's a good reminder, though. Look at.
Yeah, check
Yeah.
everybody.
Look at. You know?
Yeah, Fogle's in the club tonight. Send him a bottle right now.
Dude, that was happening.
Yeah.
That sweet onion chicken teriyaki saved my life. Send him a fucking bottle.
Need it.
That's right.
He's like what Drake from State Farm is now.
That's what I'm saying. This was his
Yep,
life.
Drake.
This was Fogel's life every
Good for
night.
him.
Is this a Halloween party?
Is that Guy
AJ, that's a
Fieri?
weird haircut for you to have at the time.
Yeah, was that might have been.
Hold on. Oh,
Is that a bulldog tattoo on the shoulder?
Yeah, just like yours.
It appears to be
I know
a pretty
might be
good
me.
time there in Jared Fogel's life. He's living a vastly different life now. For those that don't know, Jared Fogle, former Subway marketing weight loss god,
Yep.
Yeah.
Kingpin.
was just had computers and computers and computers worth of child porn.
Loaded to
Loaded
the
with
gills.
Was traveling out over to other countries
Can't have it.
to do a little bit more pedo stuff.
Was he really?
Allegedly, that's why they were flying 45 helicopters over the city
Yeah.
of Indianapolis for 3 days. Yeah. Subway face goes down. He's living in a neighborhood of like 10 of my teammates up in the super rich part of town. They're like, does anybody else have a fucking helicopter just flying around? Oh, you think it's Fogle? I think it's Fogle. Thought Fogle was getting like robbed or killed or something. It turns out like that whole day was a hilarious day of like, what happened to Fogle? He get robbed?
I can't imagine.
No, Fogle's the worst guy of all time.
no way.
Fogle's just at our house last night.
I love
Oh my
Subway.
God, Fogle's this guy's a pig. He was with our kids. That was the whole
Roller coaster.
Lucky to be alive through that. Not a lot of people get to experience that type of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of keeps the antennas up for the rest of the time going forward.
Sandwich OJ.
Yeah, I don't know if we have enough time now for
Sandwich OJ.
We can make it work.
He can do it.
You feel good about that one?
Kinda. I just, when I thought of helicopters, OJ.
And I'm not saying that Harry Potter is Jared Fogle. I'm just saying the way you said it to Greg Joseph, it was like, hey, how do you think Kevin O'Connell feels that he was called? Boom. Like something terrible. Like Harry Styles was like a
It was a
massive
story.
shot.
It was a story. In this program, we're supposed to talk about the stories.
Right, we
And
tell
to
stories.
To be fully transparent, I didn't really have a question when he pointed at me.
Oh,
I
so
did
you're like
come
him.
up-
Oh, yeah.
You're like him.
Yeah, and I'm not going to shake you off. I'm going to answer it.
Because you have shook me off in the past and you felt like a terrible person.
Oh, I didn't feel bad. No, just sometimes it just got to shake you off. Sometimes don't have anything.
Shout out Carly Lloyd.
That was tough.
That was
tough.
yeah.
One of one.
That was
Big
despicable.
shake off.
Hey, you have an American hero here. You have another question before we get out of here?
Yeah. It's the most disrespectful.
That didn't happen.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it did.
Find that clip right now. I bet Gumby just sent it in.
And it's burned in my brain. I'll
Yeah.
never forget
Forever.
It was somebody else. It wasn't Carly. It wasn't her.
that. It was Carly Lloyd.
Uh-huh.
You've done it to others. Carly's not the only one. But the one that we all will remember very distinctly is American hero, Carly Lloyd.
Yeah,
We had a hard out. I think.
Not,
we did not.
I worry about those.
Yep. And it was coming off a very suspect first question from him.
Wasn't as invested in the soccer, you know? I've learned from these Ohio fucks. Like you should have heard Herbie. Herbie was during the World Cup. You know, I got a chance to chat with him. They almost put a shot on goal, right? Almost. Oh, no, we're almost there. Almost. Just and then keep walking. You weren't all in on Carly Lloyd. That was rude of you.
Very much so.
Yes, I was.
I'd like to let Carly Lloyd know you're welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Amen.
Anytime.
Yes, absolutely.
AJ was just pissed because he wanted to talk to Hope Solo instead.
All right, let's get to a break.
What'd she do? Well, she was a goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
42 minutes into hour two here. It is certainly a show. Do not know what type of show we'll have on the other side. Will we be doing it in the trenches? Maybe. Will we have enough time? We do not know. But we will certainly cover everything else going on in the NFL. Tua back in the protocol. Bob Saleh talking about Zach Wilson. Josh McDaniels talking about Derek Carr. There's a lot to go through here on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 27th. 18 minutes away from Aaron Rodgers coming off a massive win in Miami where it snowed a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot to take place here. We'll see you on the other side. Take 5. When are we going to watch that? What is it? What is the show?
It is Max. Shh.
Jude?
It is.
Please.
Max is homesick from school. Quiet.
Oh, Jude. Godspeed.
Doesn't sound very sick.
NFL players won't be the only great thing you'll be able to watch on TV. I cannot say anymore, but perhaps I'll be on it.
Max, what's the name of the show he was on?
Max.
Say it, Max.
Max, what was
Say
the
it,
name
Max.
of
Takedown.
Can you?
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you, Max. That was awesome. What is it? Something takedown?
Tailgate takedown.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max.
Can't wait to watch that. Connor, your question.
We're gonna have a major conversation after this.
If you just sent him away for 6 months in summer, he would have done that.
Yeah. Well. Connor, your question for.
Big brain football. Man, I love this.
What is it about this spectacular game that we all love? The passing, the running, the hitting, the kicking, the scheming, the drama, the athleticism?
Let's go. Right here, big drop.
I think it's a combination of all of those things, but I believe it all boils down to this. The competition level is fucking awesome.
For the win with 2 seconds left.
A finger can literally be the difference between a W and an L.
What a turn of events!
It's what makes football wildly fun to watch and in turn, wildly fun to bet on, but I digress. The reason I'm doing this segment every week is to hopefully grow the respect for the game and to give love to the players who make all of this shit happen. Not just their skill and their amazing playmaking ability.
What I really like is the finish, man. Not a lot of guys would be able to make that 6 points.
This will be all about respecting these guys' big fucking brains.
Strong like bull. Woo. Smart like tractor.
You gotta be smart in this game, man.
Coaches usually get all of the credit in this beautiful minds of football space, but I want to shine a light on the players' brains.
Let's go do this thing, baby.
Let's go. Stuff like Mahomes and Kelsey cooking up a last-second drive in one of the best playoff games of all time.
They're playing like that, that seam is open.
Let's ball go down immediately.
Bills rush 4. Mahomes throws. Kelsey open inside the 40. Breaks a tackle and down.
And stuff like this, all from week 1. How about scary Terry McLaurin recognizing a corner is playing lazy cover 2 technique all game, telling everyone and their mother about it.
Try to let us run by that dude, bro. This cover 2, bro. They playing it so lazy. They're playing lazy over there all day.
Then, in the 4th quarter, when it matters, Carson Wentz hits Terry behind that lazy cover 2 corner.
Taking a shot down the field. There's McLaurin. Out of the 10 and in.
That's big brain football.
Come on, man. Hey, I been lazy all day. All day.
How about Sunday night in Dallas? Tom Brady asking Mike Evans, "What you want, babe?" And Evans calling his shot. "Give me the fade."
Yo, Tom said, "What you want?" Tom said, "What you want, babe?" I said, "The fade."
He knows the man across from him and knows how to beat him.
I know how to get him. He tried to do that little stab. Yeah. I slow played. Back out. I slapped him so hard right there at the line. Watch me see him. I slapped it.
That's some beautiful, big brain football.
Hard to beat in the air, Mike Evans.
Which brings us to our main feature this week, Josh Allen. He doesn't just have a big arm. He doesn't just have big cojones. He has a big old brain, too.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Up 14 against the world champs, 3rd and 4. He's across the line from a man who called him trash just 4 years ago. Allen knows that particular man peeks and cheats himself, a big brain player trying to gain an advantage, often with eyes more on the quarterback and less on the receivers.
He's thinking you ain't gonna throw a ball deep. So five is literally looking and not even worried about you on the trips.
Allen knows Jalen Ramsey loves sitting on routes, especially on 3rd and 4, the money down. So he tells his guy, Mr. Minneapolis Miracle himself, Stephon Diggs, "Hey, dude, don't run the called route. Just go deep."
Can you take us through the touchdown, just what you saw on that play?
Josh showed me just run.
Allen's hunch that 5 would peak and Diggs could get behind him paid off like a same-game parlay.
Their corners were really looking at the quarterback, and Diggs just ran a heck of a route.
Zone cover, Jalen Ramsey was trying to read the eyes of Josh Allen and let Diggs go past him, and Josh Allen soars it over Ramsey's head.
The look on Josh's face when he runs up on Ramsey is quite a, "What was that, pal?" moment. I'm sure he's saying something like, "I knew you would do the exact thing you just did, so I told my guy to adjust, and we beat your ass." That's not trash, Jalen. That's not a garbage pick. No, that's big brain football.
Look him off and he gonna squat. It was simple. I knew it. It was simple. I said, "All right, go."
I hang my hat on as a player that he got that dog.
Do you ever think about dabbling more on the internet? I know you don't really do it much, but
never.
you are beloved on there, Chuck.
Hey, Pat, never going on the internet.
Chuck!
Never go. No, because 2 things. Number 1, once you're successful, I always say, being successful is like being the homecoming queen. All the ugly bitches hate you. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When you're successful, you're gonna have built-in enemies. And then the more successful you become, the more enemies come at you. So I don't want to give them access to me because I'm not that guy. If you say something mean to me, I gotta say something mean back to you. When I was younger, I used to fight all the time. I'm too old to fight now, but I can still verbalize some insult.
Yes.
And like, let's say if I'm out drinking, because people know I like to drink. If I'm drinking my vodka or some tequila and you insult me, there's a 100% chance I'm gonna say some shit back at you. And the problem with being famous, Pat, and I don't like calling myself famous, but it is what it is.
Yeah, 21.
People can say anything they want to me, and nobody gives a shit. But the first time I go crazy on their ass, I'm gonna get crushed.
Yeah, you're not classy. You're not professional, obviously. Yeah, be a
so
gentleman.
I choose not to let people have access to me in that situation.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. AQ Doesn't Talk, December 27th.
Whoa.
Today's show is sponsored by SeatGeek.
Is that in the
Sandwich,
read?
you're probably a little scared.
Just problem.
Hey, if you're scared,
What's my problem?
I don't
you
understand.
just tell us you're scared.
What's your problem?
You're scared. Go to church.
What's that cool stat you just
Yeah,
told
you
us?
just gave us a stat.
J.J. Watt averaged 10 pass breakups a season for 4 straight seasons.
Oh! Holy shit!
It's amazing.
PBUs?
It's like 0.75 a game.
Yep.
Dog.
Deeper stats.
Holy shit. That's how'd you do that?
Because we're going inside the game right now.
Yeah. That's DVOA.
Yeah, we're going in the game right now.
And the only way to get in the game, buy your tickets at SeatGeek.
There it is.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is your weekly reminder that SeatGeek gave us all 15% off football tickets, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. College, NFL,
Ride.
it doesn't matter. SeatGeek has you covered. AJ, I believe, used SeatGeek for his NBA game.
Nice.
Take his kids to a Cavs game. Now, granted, it wasn't 15% off, but how easy was that, AJ?
Oh, so easy. That's what they use up in Cleveland for those Cavs games. Strictly SeatGeek. So, yes, it was a great experience.
Well, congrats to
How
SeatGeek
about
being the
that?
exclusive partner for the Cavs, but
There you
also
go.
congrats to SeatGeek on having such a good quality of product.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's quick. What you buy is what you get. They even let you know if it's a good deal or a bad deal. You know, if it's a bad deal, they're saying like, hey, you're getting fucked here, but if you need
Go
tickets,
ahead.
you need tickets.
Right here.
And then if it's a good deal, they're like, hey, we've scanned the internet. Go and lock this one up. They're incredible. SeatGeek has been amazing for a long time.
Yeah, they're the best. And any company that sends Ohio fuckers to Cavs games, that should be a notch up in anybody's book. But just click the link in the description now, and the 15% off code for college and NFL tickets will be auto-applied to your account. No code needed. SeatGeek.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to SeatGeek.
That'd be geek.
Got out, nailed it.
Not going to be able to do it in the trenches here in not enough time, and obviously we knew that as we were talking about potentially doing it in the trenches, but we do need to round out the rest of the NFL news before Aaron Rodgers Tuesday begins. Tua put back in the concussion protocol after a second quarter sack fall thing in which his legs were kind of lassoed together, and then he fell on his back and his head potentially hit the ground. That was discovered by somebody on the internet named
Warren Sharp.
Finn's fan.
Tyler.
No, that's not his real name. Finn's fan.
We don't know if any of that's real. There is certainly a Reddit operation and situation popping off with Warren Sharp, one of the founders of data analytics Twitter for NFL. Obviously incredible what he does. Has written a book about the whole thing. They're saying it's on his name. Somebody tweeted out and said, in real time, I watched this play happen. The reason why Tua was so terrible in the second half, ended the game with 3 straight interceptions, if you do recall. Game sealing one with 1:30 left, and then 9 minutes, 6 minutes. Literally, last 3 drives ended with him throwing picks. That was being reported on the internet by an internet stooge that it's because he had another concussion. A man who had one on primetime television on Thursday night that we all saw against the Cincinnati Bengals. Allegedly, now we're being told it was his back, and ever since that situation, obviously the entire unaffiliated neuroscience consultant thing has been looked at. But he now has multiple concussions on the season. The whole conversation now is, should Tua even play football anymore with what we know about brains and what we know about future? Is Tua being asked whether or not he wants to play going forward, what his future looks like? What an interesting predicament for the NFL to be in. And the fact that Tua now seemingly has played another half of football undetected with a concussion, and what larger conversation is going to take place, we shall see. McDaniel said there was no conversation. Nobody said anything about anything, including Tua, I think he said. Interesting. And the brain is obviously a fascinating thing and will continue to go. Tua being back in the spotlight of it, though, not good for anybody, including Tua. We hope he's okay.
Yeah, and I know all of their medical stuff it's private, but he had to show symptoms, right, to get put back in the concussion protocol?
Can you report? I think you can self.
Yep.
Yeah. If it was a day
like
after.
he would have to. I would imagine if this clip came out and someone's like, "Hey man, the back of your head hit the ground. Are you all right?" If he says, "No, I'm good. I don't have any symptoms," maybe they took him through the test and through the baseline stuff and realized he does have symptoms.
So this is from Michael Williams at Selfmade0602. He was born on June 2nd, June baby. I think he's still a Taurus there, June 2nd. I'm not 100% sure what all it is. But he tweeted this and said he threw 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter, proving the fact that he had a concussion. That is one of those plays, one of those tackles that you got to worry about. This is on a grass field. Okay, so that's obviously a little bit softer than a thing, but that's a standard tackle in the NFL. It is a tackle that happens often, but there was certainly a whiplash with his head hitting the ground. He's now in the protocol, so we will assume that Mike Williams, self-made 0602, was the accurate play. Maybe there's another play that took place in there, but not good that this is taking place to Tua yet again.
One of those interceptions he talked about after the game, too, the one that he threw to Devontae Campbell, he actually said, like, I don't know if I called the wrong play or if I might have thought it was a different play than what it actually was. And I'm not saying, like, that's like pointing the finger to it, but also if it was the day after he got put in concussion protocol, would it be something, too, where he would do something maybe his wife might have said something to him?
Yeah, it might have been the wife, headache, some sort of feeling like, hey, remember, I've said this before. I had a teammate who said, Wednesdays and Thursdays, normally after Sunday games, I'd get like the memory back of setting an alarm and like doing some things. And then Fridays, I'm always all the way good. And then games on Sunday, then I do it again. Because this guy, I think, went on a concussion protocol like Thursday night or like Friday. I forget. It was late in the week. And I was befuddled by it. And he's like, no, I feel this way all the time. And this one just lingered a little bit longer. McDaniel said he's not sure when Tua suffered a concussion, but he's in the protocol. During the game, nobody recognized anything with regard to a hit. It was something he met with doctors today and discussed some symptoms. So I think this is Tua saying, headache, whatever it was from before, I'm experiencing again, had to have had a concussion. But now it's going to get called, the whole operation is going to get called into question now, and I don't know what the right answer is going to be. I'm excited to see how they deal with this.
Yeah, because if it's the day after, like I feel like the team's not culpable there. Like if they would have looked at everything and everything was fine, and he didn't report any symptoms or anything like that until the day after, like how is the team at fault there?
What are your thoughts on this? Because you've been in it with the new UNC and also the old school one. You've been coach, you've been a player, so you've heard both sides of the coin on what the UNC's job is. Players obviously get told one thing, this is what this doctor does. Coaches probably get told another thing. What are your thoughts on it? How do they fix it? And is this going to lead to some change that probably will have ripple effects across the entire league?
My thoughts are I think it should always come down to the player, right? Like that happens. Like it should. If he has symptoms, say something. If he doesn't have symptoms,
yeah, it never happens. All right, isn't that what people say?
Right. But at the end of the day, like I'm very curious. To AJ's point is, if all of a sudden they saw this video, right? Like this video comes out after the game or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just like the thing on the like there's a big hit in the game, and the spotter says, okay, now you need to see a doctor. Like we're gonna pull you out of meetings, go see the doctors, and then now all of a sudden we determine that. Or if he actually like reported something yesterday, like I think that's something to consider. But it's like at the end of the day, like there's a lot of head stuff going on in the 10-week period. Like,
there's a lot going on, and if the UNC has the power to pull players, and somebody gets more power, that's going to get called into. I don't know what the right balance is. Like you look at that hit last night.
Yeah,
that used to be once every other game a hit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then at least every half there was going to be a big one that happened. Yeah, this is what AQ literally used to do whenever he didn't have work as an off. That's a massive hit. That is a massive shot. Huge. But back in the day, this shot right here, maybe every other game, primetime, or something like this would take place. And that's how the game has been developed and the fans have become there. So everybody's expecting big-time shots. But the more information we learn about concussions and about brains in the future and the hits that could change, and I understand that there's ways to do heads-up football. There's always going to be something, though, that could potentially end up with injuries taking place to both body and head, I think, in football. I don't know how they find the proper balance of when somebody gets pulled for their own good, because players are never going to want to get pulled because you can't join the club let alone concussions. We're talking about every other injury that they're trying to shield from everybody so they don't even get talked about or brought up. I don't know how you find that balance. I honestly have no idea, but going to have to, because this is a dangerous situation for Tua, clearly.
With that, though, all four players getting played are getting pulled in the middle of the game, because that's a hard time for them to make a decision on their own because they're in the middle of the game. Testosterone, all that type of stuff.
Are you for it?
What's that?
People pulling players in the middle of game. I mean, obviously.
If they're fucking woobly.
No, I agree if they're woobly, but there's going to be, because was Tua woobly?
No.
I'm not saying it.
They should have checked him. They should check him in between series. If they're worried, you don't pull him from the game. Maybe check if you think like, hey, this is like borderline. Pull him out after the series. Check on him. See if he has any kind of symptoms, and try to really that person has to know Tua somewhat well and know if they're trying to lie to him, if they have symptoms or not.
The only thing we're saying is the more power you give people to pull people, it'll happen in a big moment.
Sure.
And everybody's going to have to call into question.
Oh, Pat Mahomes is out, and they got a big 2-point conversion to win the game or something.
Yeah, and Pat will say, like, I was good. You know, like that's a tough. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how you balance that.
My issue, though, is the people on the internet now, after they see this, are saying, like, after he clears concussion protocol, saying that he shouldn't be allowed back on the field when he's an adult. This is his profession. Once he's cleared protocol, and if he wants to go back out and play, he should be allowed to fucking play. Like
in sport, there is chance for injury. We love UFC. We love boxing.
Women's soccer.
A loss. Now, there is percentages that have come out about soccer and in proportion to how many people play versus how many concussions come from heading or anything else like that. There is a stat that can be used for soccer also being, but any sport, there is a potential injury that happens. Head injuries, though, is there's sports that we watch literally every single weekend where the goal is to knock somebody unconscious and give them a concussion. And when they lose, they're not just expected to retire forever. Those people are actually, I got to get back in it. They're trying to get back in there so they don't get knocked. They might get knocked out again. It's like, we just have to understand that although we all care about people, we all do. We all, I think, for the most part, would like the best thing to happen at all times for everybody. We're all striving for that. In sports, that's just not realistic. There's going to be shit that happens. And I'm worried about Tua's head as well. Concussions are going to happen in football forever. It's just something that just comes with the line of work that it is. It's a reason why people enjoy it because of how high speed it is, the contact that comes with it. So I don't love everybody that's automatically making Tua and his family and his friends feel like terrible people if they have him go play again, because it's like there's a lot of professions that have these types of things take place. And it's like, is he definitely going to have a fucked up future if he comes back and plays? We don't know. But his life as an NFL quarterback, not that bad. That comes alongside of it with the money and the future you set up for your family and your generation and jobs. There's people that lay brick that have horrible joints. There's people that do that. There's always something that comes with everything. The NFL certainly has this as something that comes alongside of it, and we don't like it, but it's reality.
And on the flip side of that, like, should Tua maybe look at it and be like, hey, either I need to, like, somehow learn how to, like, fall better or, like, figure this out, because he has. I mean, you know, he's in the concussion protocol like every 4 or 5 weeks, and maybe it's bad luck. Maybe, you know, there could be a litany of different issues with it, but, like, ultimately, you know, just the same deal with him going out there and playing. Like, it's his personal decision whether or not he's like, hey, you know what, I can't afford to have 2 more concussions next year.
But I do like the fact that we all are like, hey, you should think about your life as opposed to just playing football. For sure. Because there was a time where nobody thought like that. So I'm happy where we are, but we also have to understand, like, shit comes with your profession. So I'm excited to see what Tua does. Hopefully he comes back full recovery. Godspeed to him and his brain. Can't wait to see what his decision is. Hopefully the sport continues to evolve and get safer. Now we will take a break, and Aaron Rodgers Tuesday will be on the other side of this 3-minute break. Let's take 3, and we'll have ART on this December 27th. Holiday season has been spectacular. The Miami Dolphins lose to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are still in it. Vikings at home. Lions at home. Other things have to take place, but it feels like the Packers might make the goddamn playoffs.
Here we go, baby.
Be a friend, tell a friend. Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays in 3 minutes. Take 3!
He's saying don't go off the top. It's too shallow.
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up. They start shaking it. They go, whoa. Hey, when things are going good, they say, yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis. Hey. Yeah, Boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able
What sign am I going to make for College Game Day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. 19. You're headed right for the boat. Right now? Yeah, for the boat. Okay, let's do it.
We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go!
A lot higher than I thought.
You held your glider.
You look like Ric Flair.
That was a sellout, by the way. That was beautiful.
Maybe other shirts?
Yeah, hold on. You need to go get changed before you get sick.
Great work, Russia. I'm actually not that cold. Hey, I went for it. My chest hurts. It was like 5 feet. I was standing there. That's full commitment, by the way.
Why?
Let's go! This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston College.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 27, 2022. Hour 3 starts now. Football! Wrapped up its 16th weekend of an 18-weekend season. There's a lot to chat about, and I get to do so every single day with a great group of people. 2 of them known from the Toxic Table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, who is a ownership holder of the Green Bay Packers. Shout out to you, entrepreneur.
Shout out. Thank you.
Shout out to you. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, who looks so cool today, Tone Diggs.
How you done?
Tone, can you please showcase those boots one
see
more
'em.
time? Boom!
Oh, shit.
Boom!
Oh!
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 Those are ostrich.
Hell yeah, and that ostrich lived a
PETA.
full life, obviously. No. Ostrich
We're
lived a
not.
full life,
Yep.
died of maturity.
Yeah, of
That's
natural
why
causes.
natural causes lived it. You should have
Only
seen
one
that.
bad day.
Yeah.
Exactly. You should-
Gunshot wound to the head. Yeah.
We're not.
No.
No,
This
they chopped
ostrich.
his head off.
After
It only lived one bad day.
No, it didn't even live a bad day because that day it went to sleep and it passed out when
Had
it
its
was
favorite
sleeping.
meal.
Yeah, it was good.
It
It's just
said,
Why would we-
natural causes.
Why would we
Kill
call
me now, I'm
football?
so
Naturally,
old.
that's why the boots look the way they do, is because it's like those are mature ostrich.
That's right.
And that's why you look so incredibly
Thank
cool
you.
today. Can't wait to see what bets you're giving out. I'm sure you're going to hit because
Sure.
of how cool you look.
Maybe.
Host of In the Trenches, 12-year NFL veteran, center, fullback, wedge buster,
What?
AQ Shipley, Super Bowl
Yeah!
champion. To my left, your right here is the face of Ohio, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, NBA pundit, video game shitster, father of 10, COVID survivor, AJ Hawk. All the boys in the back, you do great work. And joining us now live from Green Bay, Wisconsin, a place in which it is cold. Playing in a game this past weekend down in Miami that had snow show up, won a game that they had to win, now staring at a future in which the playoffs are very much in front of them. Conversations were had about this man's downfall, and then what did he do? He started shaking folks for first down, cross-body throws, sick play action, hezzy, no laces. Ladies and gentlemen, the back-to-back NFL MVP, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah!
What's up, dude?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, man. How are you doing? Let's go. We've won 3 straight. Vikings at home, Lions at home. Let's not look too far ahead. Everything's in front of you. Words cast spells. You've been putting this up. We're live. Hey, we're live. We're still alive going into week 17. The cause of your guys' downfall were obviously way too premature. How you feeling about it? You got to feel great about where you guys are.
I felt really good until I heard about the poor ostrich who sacrificed his life for tone.
No.
On how much I love the hat. That's a beautiful hat you got there, Tone. But then when I saw the boots, and I thought about the life of that poor ostrich.
What?
Ostrich look great.
Murderer.
Ostrich look great.
The hat is from Taylor Lewan. Thank you, Taylor.
Shout out Taylor Lewan. Bussin'.
The ostrich was eating plant, and when things are plants, it doesn't matter. So right.
The ostrich lived a great life.
Thank you.
Anyways,
he got hugged to death. I'm sure he was hugged to death.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Bear. Yep.
No bear. Obviously, we wouldn't have the boots, but nonetheless, ostrich was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And the boots look great. So do the Packers. You guys are sitting in a fantastic position here, and I know you try to keep as much out as possible. And earlier in the year, there was conversations about like some of your teammates, and I think it was Jair who said, if we lose next week, then we're in real trouble. And you were like, I don't like us talking about that. But there was a lot of conversation about you guys being dead, moving on to a next chapter. Is Aaron going to get benched, traded, or pulled? And now with 2 games left, division opponents that you know very well, you're back in control. The roller coaster this year has been wild, or have you tried to stay above it or out of it all?
No, it's been a wild roller coaster for sure. I don't think how you can't really stay out of all of it. You're going to hear about it one way or another, whether through a friend or Tom Fanning or just get a feeling of what's going on. But it's been great. A lot of really important lessons. When you're winning cures a lot, and it kind of glosses over sometimes some of the most important parts of this game that you got to keep intact. Otherwise, you'll have a little bit of a down spell. We kind of went through that. Thankfully, there were a few moments that felt like maybe the rock bottom that we got through, and now we're on the other side. Now, we're not in the perfect position. The perfect position would be like in 2010 when we were 8-6, and we had just watched Deshaun Jackson with that incredible punt return against the Giants, and we knew, regardless of what happened that night against New England, we had 2 remaining games at home against the Giants and the Bears in that year. And if we just won those 2, we were in the playoffs. So that was a little bit different scenario. We came out and had a great game against the Giants and then won a barn burner 10-3 against the Bears to sneak in the playoffs as a 6th seed, and the rest is kind of history. This year we need a little bit of help. We're all going to be Browns fans this week.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Browns.
Wow.
Definitely pulling for the Browns. And obviously we got to take care of our own business. But, I mean, we got a big jump of confidence this last week. Like I said, a lot of people are probably saying, "Oh, you beat a couple bad teams, and the Bears and the Rams."
Whoa.
Now see what happens when you play against a good football team. We went down to Miami, played a good football team, and had a really nice second half. The end of the first half, getting points there was important when Jay Reed stripped the back there, recovered the fumble. We were able to get just enough yards to get in range for the new all-time consecutive games record holder Mason Crosby.
Atta baby Mason, machine.
To bang one of his 4 kicks, and then had a really nice drive to start the second half to get us back even. And obviously the defense came up real big in the fourth quarter, 3 straight interceptions, and came out of there with a big win.
Hell yeah.
What about Alan Lazard? Did he? I don't know if you guys have had a team meeting, if you got Victory Monday, whatever's going on. He took out about half of their defense on one crack block. What can you say about that and what that guy brings to the team?
Dog.
Yeah, I mean, he does all the dirty work. He was co-offensive player of the game the previous week with just 1 catch. It kind of says how important he is to our offense and the role that he plays. He does it without bitching or blinking an eye or making any stink. He's a receiver, though. Receivers want the ball. They want to score touchdowns. They want receptions. They want targets. And Allen is a consummate professional. He goes about his business, does it the right way. He's a great teammate, and it was nice to get him some more chances in the passing game. And then just, he does what he does. You toss that ball out, I turn around, next thing I see a bunch of guys on the ground, and Allen over there counting 1, 2, 3. I was kind of counting with him. I couldn't believe it. Jonesy scampered down there for a big, it was like it was supposed to run for us. It got us back in a position to convert that first down and keep the clock moving. But that's what Allen does. He's a great player for us, plays an important role for us, and also had a big catch and a backed up go route and some other important plays for us as well. So love Allen. I mean, you can win with smart players who embrace their role and do it to the best of their abilities. That's what competitive greatness is. It's doing your best when your best is needed at all times, and not, letting your ego get into it like it's so natural for all of us, because we all have egos and we all want to be important parts of the game. But Allen has a great balance of doing his job, keeping his ego in check, and being an incredible teammate, and I think he deserves all the respect and credit that is due to him.
Hell yeah. Is this what you guys do? Hell yeah. You do this.
Yeah, ATT, baby, ATT.
Hell yeah. I don't know what it means. It could be a lot of things.
It means at the top. I think it's not some sort of half Illuminati symbol.
Whoa!
What?
What? That's not real, right?
Nah, of course not.
All right, let's move on.
You sure?
That's amazing. There's so many articles just immediately are about to get Aaron Rodgers mentions. ATT does not mean that. It's fascinating. But let's talk about your team seemingly getting healthy at the right time, too. Are we wrong in that? Is there a chance Bach comes back? But Dobbs is back making plays for you. Saw Cobby make some plays. Christian Watson obviously coming into his own. AJ's becoming this powerful back that you need. Feels like on the offensive side, and I'm sure you know the defense side as well, right time of year you guys are starting to click. Is it because of health? What do you think it is because of?
Well, I think it is a big part of that. I mean, obviously we lost Rashawn Gary midseason. He's not coming back. But we've gotten a lot of guys back. Now we had a couple of our major playmakers come out of the game on Sunday. Christian got a little banged up, and Keyshawn, who's been, you can't
unbelievable.
You can't talk enough about the impact that he's had for us. In the return
How about
game.
coming out? How about coming out and having the ball in the 6 or whatever going in after? How nice is that? How nice is that?
It's never happened. I don't think we've had a return for a touchdown since. I think we've had one in all my time, a return for a touchdown on a kickoff, and that was Randall Cobb back in 2011. But this play is incredible. Obviously, nice job with the blocking, but Key is so slippery when he gets out in the open field. And he's fast enough to outrun a lot of guys, even some of his own teammates. It looks like on some of this play, but yeah, I love Key. He's again, like Allen, you can win with smart, tough players who embrace their role and do it consistently at a really high level, and that's what Key does. And he also brings his edge, this trash talking edge. This again, I'm going to say this competitive greatness. He is willing to put his body on the line every single week to play, and I just saw him today when I was in there, and he came out of the game, but I think he's going to try and play this week. So that's just the type of guy that he is. As far as Bach goes, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to jinx him or anything. He's my cart buddy, and I'm sure if I say something that gets back to him, he's going to be bitching about it for the 2 minutes and 23 seconds. We drive down to practice, but I feel confident that he's going to be practicing this week and hopefully trending towards playing.
Here we go, Bach! Guess who's Bach? Bach again! Bach is Bach! Tell a friend! Bach is Bach! Bach is Bach! Bach is Bach! Bach is Bach! That's awesome. These are big games, Bach. Excited you're back there. Congrats on the appendicitis appendectomy recovery. We've been told his was super serious. There's different levels of appendicitis and appendectomies and everything. His was at the topper level. He's had a rough year of rehab, 2 years, I guess, rehab, recovery, think you're back, you're not back, mentally, physically. He's been through it. These are two big games. Excited he's trending towards being. Congrats, Bach. Proud of you, Bach. Ty has a question for you, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, I know you've talked about it with us a bunch before, but how important is Big Dog to the team just in general? He scores the touchdown, but then that massive, you just putting it into a fucking bucket to him down the sideline there in the third quarter, how much fun is it playing with him? One, and also like how important is he to the team in general? Because everyone knows, he's not really showing up that much on the stat sheet, but anytime we hear from you or anyone else, it's like, hey, we couldn't do any of the things that we want to do without this guy.
That's true. I mean, he's such an important person for us in the organization. It's more than just a player. It's his leadership. It's the way he goes about his business. It's his professionalism. I'll tell you a few stories. One, Matt was asking me this week, what maybe needed to be said to the team, and he was, with all the, Christmas and Christmas Eve and family and different things, there was, there's always, as coaches call it, distractions, that can come up, and I said, we'll have Big Dog break it down Saturday. Just because whenever Big Dog speaks, everybody listens. There's only been a few players like that over the course of my career. I mean, Charles Woodson was definitely that. Julius Pepper is a man of few words. Every time Julius talked, everybody's like on alert. Like, okay, what's JP saying?
Yeah.
And that's how Big Dog is, and that's it's an important role for us. And then any chance we get to give him a few opportunities is awesome. I thought that play we had in the goal line. We haven't done a lot of goal line personnel over the last few years. It's just kind of gone away from them. Just not less and less teams are running kind of big people down there. They kind of want to go small and keep you from a goal line defense coming in the game. But I really like that play. We had Tyler Davis on the front side in the fly motion, kind of bringing at least one guy and some eyes back to the backside with some just old school play here. We're sending the fullback DeGuara in the flat and Big Dog on a low corner, and because of the action and the fly motion and we were able to get the Big Dog, an easy one there, and it's awesome. There's nobody who anybody's more excited about scoring than Big Dog. And then the other play,
filthy. Hey, listen, filthy fucking play from you. Now I know Big Dog makes a great catch, and they only showed a replay. I don't know if you heard this or not. Fox only showed a replay of the catch. They're like, is it a catch? Is it not a catch? Let's talk about the 39-year-old sidestepping left, throwing right with somebody in her face in a bucket. What a play. Hey, this is vintage Aaron Rodgers, as Michael Cole would say from the WWE. This was filthy here. Was this supposed to go to Big Dog, or what progression is he in this particular play?
He's an afterthought, really, on that play. Look, I got to highlight Patrick Taylor. If you go back and show that clip, the route is really to the front side to Dobbs on the right, and you just see the backer moves over, 15 walks off. I'm thinking Dobbs is going to break out on this in-out option. He breaks in, and as I move back to the backside, PT does a great job on the block, give me a little bit of time, and I just, out of the corner of my eye, saw Big Dog kind of, rumbling down the sidelines. The funny thing about that is, there's a play we had a couple years ago. We had Big Dog split way out, and we had this inside concept route. And Big Dog's running this stop and go at like 18 yards. And basically when we installed it, was like, well, don't worry. You're never going to throw that ball out there, right? So what do? I go through my progression. Everybody's covered inside and throw it out to Big Dog for like a 16-yard completion. Same thing on this play. It's like, Big Dog, we're going to give you a little wheel route on the backside. We got a stick knot on the backside. The back's going to run a wide. You're just kind of just eating up some ground down the field. The ball's never really coming to you. So what happens? Dobbers breaks in instead of out. I get off of that. I come back. Bobby's gloved. I got no time. I just kind of lay it up, and who's down there to make the play is Big Dog. So pretty awesome when those things come together. I saw the replay a few times. Somebody texted me and said, "Oh, you didn't catch it." I think it probably would have stood on any type of replay. But either
what's
way,
a catch? I mean,
what an awesome play for Big Dog.
Hell yeah, awesome play for Big Dog, awesome play for you. And the fact that Big Dog, how many years is this? Long time. Long time.
This is 17, so he's tied the all-time record, I believe, for tight end seasons. If he played next year, that would be 18, which would break the record.
Unbelievable.
For the role that he plays for us, he is a dominant player. He can dominate the line of scrimmage. He's an incredible blocker. I think he's gotten even better as pass blocking things. We put him on the backside of some of our action weak action plays where he's one-on-one on an outside backer, a defensive end, and usually a stud rusher, and he's done an outstanding job for us. We have some plays for him here and there, but his role is really run blocking a lot of times and also pass blocking. And again, I mentioned this is the third guy I mentioned, right? We talked about Allen, we talked about Keyshawn, we talked about Big Dog. I talked a lot this year about competitive greatness and what that actually means to me and what I think it means. And those are three guys that you can always count on. When I'm in the locker room and I'm sitting there before the game, and I'm looking around. And it's always the same. You're wondering how the game's going to go and how guys are going to play and who's nervous and who's ready and different things. If there's ever any anxiety that comes up, and that's a foreshadowing to the book that I'm going to highlight later today.
Ooh, teaser.
If there's ever any anxiety that comes up, and I think it's natural for all of us, there's a few guys you can look over at and go, okay, I'm going to be fine because that guy's playing. And those 3 guys that I've talked about today are all guys you can always look over and go, okay, I know we're going to be fine because we got Key returned. I know we're going to be fine because I got Allen out there, who's one of the smartest players in the game and is incredible at his role for us. I know we're going to be fine because I can look over and we got Big Dog who's going to make sure that he's dominating line of scrimmage and putting out the type of film he wants to put on tape. And if he gets any chance to make plays, I know he's going to make those plays.
How about 17 years in, to your point, wheel route afterthought, running at full speed still?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not even in the progression. Hey, 17 years in, we need your big ass to go run like a 65-yard sprint real quick, full speed, or it doesn't work. Probably not going to get the ball. There's zero chance you're going to. And then all of a sudden, when the play needs to be made, he's right there. That's a consummate pro. More buildings need that in there, and I think you guys are lucky to have it. I'm thankful that you guys have respected and appreciated that and kept him around. Hey, you were in your bag a little bit, huh? In Miami, you felt good, body felt young. You were running, shake, whoop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You did a couple whoops, and then this. Hey, you had a play action too that we're going to highlight here in a second. I mean, obviously, look at you scooting around. Look at this. Oh, space opportunity. Let me shake. I'm going to score. No, I'm not. I'm going to go down. Play. I'll let somebody else go. I'll pick up a first down on 3rd and 8, and then a little bit of sauce. Let everybody know that I just picked up a quick 24 feet, needed it. That's all I need.
Big time.
3rd and 8, first down. Did you
this is what I always. The worst thing you want to do is celebrate when it's coming back, and I actually was guilty of one of those later on. But right when I got up, I just took a peek behind me. Is anybody holding? Okay, good. All right, now I can signal, first down here. But yeah, I felt like there's been times where I've needed to run the last 5 or 6 weeks and made sure that I'm not forgetting about that part of my game. I think as you transition to an older player, you have to be more comfortable making plays in the pocket and working in a little tiny kind of 2-yard by 2-yard box and subtle movements in the pocket to get you to your throwing spots. But, I've always been able to run the football at times. Obviously, I ran for way more yards when I was a younger player and was constantly, above 300 yards rushing for the season. The last couple of years, it's been much less. But I've found some times. If I can run for a first down a game, that's probably going to give us, an opportunity to put more points on the board. So I'm never going to lose track of that. I feel like my best run of the game actually got called back. I moved to the left, kind of. You guys obviously don't have that clip, which would be a little bit more of an athletic clip, I feel like. Because the first one, I got in the open field. The eyes get big. Maybe I'm going to score this. You give a guy a couple shakes, he doesn't move. Okay, I'm going to go down here. Let's not do anything real stupid here. But the other one, I actually got out to the left, kind of. It reminded me of this play I had in 17 against Dallas, where I kind of broke a tackle, went down the sidelines for a first down, set up the game-winning touchdown to Devontae Adams in the left corner. This was, less than that, but I got out of a, tackle and then went down the sidelines and stayed in bounds. Thought that, man, that was a great play.
I do remember that.
Look back, holding, I'm like, man, just wasted all that energy.
You felt good though sliding. I remember that slide was like a purposeful. I remember that now. Yeah, and then it all for naught, obviously. Damn, that's a shame.
But the guy chasing me said I was faster than I look. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Okay, yeah. So not all for naught. A little bit of a compliment, a little bit of a boost there for the old man. Got
kind of a backhanded compliment though, right?
Hey, you look.
But I'll take it. I'll take it.
You look real slow.
No, you're deceptive, dude. Because your arm's so good.
Yeah, I heard Connor. I think that was the point you was making.
What'd you say?
I said I'm assuming that the guy thought you look really really slow like an AQ Shipley, but actually you're kind of fast like an AJ Hawk.
Oh no, but AJ too also looked so slow. He was benched in a game where
he couldn't
defense
cover.
coordinator thought he wasn't fast enough.
Against the Eagles. Yeah,
healthy scratch.
Yeah, he said trade me.
And that's because the coach just said, you look slow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Never even said oh, you're faster than you look. Like guy did you. Definitely a compliment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sure.
Definitely a compliment. What happened to
AJ was a try-hard guy. He was a coach on the field. He was, one of those smart guys out there playing. That's what he was known for.
First one in, last one out. High motor. Yeah, coach's kid.
Yeah.
He got it all. Yeah. What do you got, AJ?
Yeah, speaking of things of that nature, Aaron, if you saw Tua is back in the concussion protocol, I don't know how this exactly works. Like when you get put in after you played a whole game, I guess when it comes to like the whole protocol, how has that changed from when you got in the league until now? And what can they do? Like, what's the answer?
Well, there was no real protocol back in the day. Definitely not in game. There was I can't remember exactly. Maybe in 05 or 06. I feel at some point there was some outside people. You had to pass some tests. There was always a computer test that was very difficult to pass, and then there was an in-person test that you had to pass. Then they added a balance test. So it all goes off of your baseline to get back on the field. But there's a number of different tests, and it's all slotted like day to day. Like the first day you can do this test, the second day you can do this test, and the third day you got to do both of them again or whatnot. But look, I mean, everybody's head responds differently. I've said this many times. There's been certain guys who've taken some crazy shots, and you think they're going to be out for a week or 2 weeks, and the next day you see them and they're totally clear, totally fine. Now that might not be what's going on in their brain, but as far as their cognizance, they're able to to speak clearly. They don't have any sensitivity to light. They have no sensitivity to noise. All the kind of the markers for a concussion. Devontae is a prime example of that crazy hit he took against Chicago when Trevathan drilled him. We were all worried that this was going to be a multi-week thing. I saw him the next day. He's like, "Oh, fine." It's like, well, you're doing quite fine. Your brain took, some trauma. But as far as like his ability to think and move and working out can bring up symptoms as well. Everybody's brain responds differently. So for Tua, I think now it's getting interesting because he's had multiple now in the same season. That's when it gets a little more dangerous. He finished the game, so I don't know if he was dealing with any headache or anything. I've seen a play that they showed now where it looked like he got kind of tossed to the ground and may have had that whiplash effect, which can definitely do it. It's much easier on grass than on turf, but now it's probably time to maybe consider shutting it down when you've had some episodes. I don't know if that's going to be in the thought process. As a competitor, that's the last thing you want. But at some point, you do start thinking about your cognitive function later in life and any after effects you might be dealing with. So I'm sure they'll be they have to now. The eyes of the NFL nation are probably on Miami now to see how they deal with this. And I like the kid. I think he's a real good kid, and I like the way that he speaks and represents his team and goes about his business. And I wish him, all the healing necessary for his brain and just the patience and just to deal with this, which would be a difficult time, I'm sure, dealing with all the attention, the doctors, and the decision on what to do. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot because there's a lot in play when you talk about the future. And he hasn't hit his second contract yet, right? I mean, he's still in his first contract, so there is still a lot to be decided from a lot of different standpoints, as it is a profession and it is obviously very dangerous. And I hearing you say probably start thinking about your life here and shut it down. That's going to be those are going to be heavy words that are going to be, I assume, too.
Shut it down for the season, or are you saying not play again? What are you saying?
No, I mean, I'm not saying not play again. I mean, there's been certain guys who've done that. A few guys over the years. I'm not saying that at all. I think that there's so much more research now about healing your brain and things you can do to combat gray matter and different long-term concussion symptoms. But I just hope that he gets the right help to make the right decision for him. But no, I'm not talking about career. I don't think that's necessary. There's been a lot of quarterbacks over the years who've dealt with a lot of concussions. Steve Young being one of them, who kind of had to retire because of the multiple shots that he took. And Steve, Steve today, he's on TV. He does a great job. He's really sharp and doing great. Has no lingering effects. Joe Namath has talked at length about some of the work that he's done to deal with some of the gray matter from some of the concussions that he had over the years. And there's a lot better research now in this field. I think that can help anybody who's worried about their long-term future. But I'm just saying this season, at least maybe for a week. Now, again, they're in the playoff hunt. They got an important game against, I believe, New England this week. So that's always, whether you want to admit it or not, that comes into play, whether in your mind or the team's mind. But I just hope he makes the best decision for him, and I'm sure he will. And if he doesn't play, Teddy's there. I love Teddy. He's such a good guy. I enjoyed our battles over the years in Minnesota, but he's just, again, another consummate professional who I just really enjoy what he's all about.
Yeah, we love Teddy as well. I thought he was maybe going to come to the Colts at some point. Was excited about that. Got Matt Ryan and said he's healthy and active. Nonetheless, you got a good quarterback. You got to hang on to it. For you, you've dealt with concussions in the past, right? You've dealt with concussions in the past. Did that ever come up in your decision? Because I think going into this last contract here for you, a lot of conversation was happening outside of you about what you were going to do, where you're going to go. You're going to go to another city. You're going to retire. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And you chatted about all of those things, I think, and you made a decision to come back to the Packers. How much of it was like brain damage that could potentially happen going forward, especially with, you're known as an incredibly high intelligence human hosting Jeopardy. Not a lot of sports stooges are doing that. How much, and I think Andrew Luck, there was even some conversation about potential, because of all the research that we have about brains now and what happens with football, it can almost go the other direction too, because we're learning exactly what's happening with every single hit. Did that come up in the conversation with you about future decisions, about your brain more specifically? And will that be something that comes into convo when you decide your future inevitably after this year or next year, whenever you decide to do that?
That's a great question, Pat. I don't think I can say that it won't have any impact. That just wouldn't be entirely truthful. It's not near the top of the list.
Got it.
My last major one was 2018 in the finale. I got clotheslined, legitimate clotheslined, not on purpose, I don't think, but that was, you're 35 and starting to think about that the end is obviously closer than the beginning, and not wanting to not be able to function the way you want to function in, 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years down the line. But thankfully, I've been able to avoid any of those hits the last, 4 years. So that's been really, really good. Obviously, it's a part of our game. There's a lot of players dealing with various levels of CTE, which has been well chronicled. But I think there's a lot better research now and things you can do to stay sharp and to maybe reverse some of those effects that have come on. There's again, there's a lot of research around that I would encourage any former player or current player who's about the end, or any player who's thinking about whether or not they want to keep doing this to look into it, because the cognitive health is the most important thing for sure. There's so many beat up dudes with body and different things, but most of them still able to function pretty well. But the brain is one that you just can't mess around with. So I can't say it will have no effect on the decision, but because I've been able to avoid those the last 4 years, it's not like at the top of my mind.
Okay, AQ should be a little bit closer to the top of your mind.
Think
Just
about
time
it.
to think about AQ, with you running your face into everybody that you possibly could for 12 years.
Fight Club, too.
Yeah, and you're in a Fight Club with Jay Glazer now.
Knocking you out 2 times a week.
Maybe you should start listening to the technology that's been created.
Is he really in Fight Club with Jay Glazer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he hasn't shown
This
up.
is we saw a video. We saw a video from.
Is he fighting it? Are you fighting it Unbreakable, AQ?
No, not
No,
in LA.
in
This is in
Phoenix.
Phoenix, in guy's basement. This is in a guy's basement. We actually saw a video from
Singlets.
AQ's phone. He wouldn't let us post it. Jay Glazer and AQ were in singlets, and it was just one exhibition they were doing. And what was Jay saying?
Said, AQ, you better get those fucking hands up, because this left and right's coming right down Main Street, pal. I'm going to put you on your fucking ass.
Didn't he say something too about like being a center and the head trauma that comes with offensive line versus what comes from Jay Glazer?
Yeah, well, he said, hey, listen, AQ, I know, J.J. Watt fucking made you look like a big fat push while you were playing, but that's nothing what I'm going to do with this right hand, pal. I'm going to knock your fucking block off, AQ.
Perfect. Perfect.
That is perfect.
It's in some random rich guy's basement during this Fight Club. AQ and Jay Glazer sparring. This is amazing.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyways, you need to listen to what the gray matter conversation.
I did. I just went and got it checked.
All right, good, sweet. Yeah,
We're all good.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We're all good.
Yeah.
Was that pre or post fight, AQ?
Post, and
Oh, yeah.
they said all good. I told everybody else in my life that I'm not the crazy one. They are.
Yeah, this was the NFL for a line of duty test on his brain, telling him, "Yeah, your brain's perfect, 100%." And we're all like, "Okay, all right, that seems like a little bit of a cooked result." Nonetheless, happy for you. Right?
Thanks, man.
Way to go, Al.
Yeah, appreciate
Professionals told you you're good. To pivot away from that and to pivot into something that makes everybody feel good, especially in Green Bay, there's a man who created the Gold zone, right? We want gold.
I love
gold. Nathaniel Hackett, who was a head coach for the Denver Broncos for moments over there this particular season, it did not go the way that he had envisioned or anybody in Denver. He's back on the market. Has there been a thought of, since he's out with the Broncos, maybe for these last 2 weeks in which you have to win, bring in somebody that knows the team, knows some systems, has a creative mind for the red zone? Have you reached out to Nathaniel Hackett to rejoin the Green Bay Packers? And is there couth? Is that not like a couth thing to do, just have a head coach of one team 1 week and then go right back to the Packers literally the next week? Has that ever been a conversation or a thought? And have you talked to Hackett since he's been fired from Denver just yesterday?
Well, listen, I think we have to first remember there's humans involved in this, So just taking a beat and letting the the pain and the frustration, disappointment kind of settle, I think is important. So expecting, him to come in for us, I don't think it's appropriate at this point. I say there's humans involved because it's not just Nathaniel. He's got an amazing wife, 4 incredible kids. He's been in the game for a long time. They've moved to a few different places. Obviously, he was in Jacksonville and Buffalo and with us. And he's been around the game for a long time. His father, legendary Paul Hackett. So he's been around the game for a long time, knows a ton of football. I credit him with so much of our success the last couple seasons. I have so much love for him. I think he's a phenomenal coach. Interesting situation to go into with a brand new owner. Obviously that owner is going to, have a short leash with anybody, players, coaches, GMs, whoever it might be, because now they're in charge. Now they're the big boss. Now they can do what they want. And when you go through a season and struggle the way that they did, I think, maybe it's not surprising, but it is disappointing. There was just this, we saw from the owners' meeting, right? There was conversation around all the money that's being paid out to coaches that aren't coaching anymore, right? What do you got?
$800 million.
Yeah, it's wild, right? That's the league we live in. That's the reality we live in. It's a what have you done for me lately league for players and coaches. The difference between players and coaches is the coaches have guaranteed contracts. So there's a little more help on the back end when you get removed like this. But what you have to remember is there are so many people involved, just like players. When a player gets cut, there's significant others. There could be kids involved. There's obviously disappointed family and friends. There's a wide web of people who are affected by one decision. So I think it's always important to have a little bit of tenderness with this and a little bit of grace. And people want to pile on top of Nathaniel. Well, I think he's a phenomenal football coach, and I'd back him up and give him a stamp of approval with any organization in the National Football League because I know how important he was to my success. I know what kind of leader he is. I know what he brings to a locker room. I know what he brings to a coaching staff. I love Nate. He's always going to be a dear friend, and I'm very thankful for the time we had together. Obviously, it wasn't a great fit in Denver for a number of reasons that I don't think I need to bring up. But the record is what it was, and the new owner decided to make a change, which is his prerogative. Hack's still going to get paid, and he's still got an incredible wife and a great family and a lot of things to be proud of, and he's got a great friend in me still.
Hell yeah. Nate's going to want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
We're also would all like to hear about the number of reasons that you think why it didn't work out at some point. Take a beat, take some time. We'll get into that later, but I'm happy you said that, and I'm sure the Hackett family and friend group that has been getting beat in the shins repeatedly all season will be pumped to hear that from Mount Rushmore quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Tone, your question for Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron, you caught the Finns with 12, potentially 13 guys on the field on Sunday. Were you trying to sneak one? Oh, they gave McDaniel the timeout. You think they got the timeout in time? Were you trying to sneak one by the first-year head coach?
I thought we had him. No, obviously, I couldn't see what was going on over there. I was just watching the players go off the field. And so I was watching them to the left as I was taking the snap, and it felt like I knew that we had him. I didn't see where Mike was in calling timeout, but I just reiterated to them after that play, after I told the referee I didn't maybe necessarily agree with his decision, because we were dropping back. I was 4 into my drop already, and I went over there and said some. Yeah, that's what I said.
What'd you say there? What was that? Bullshit. Did you say bullshit?
Bullshit.
Bull spit? Bull.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, see, that's good. They show the smiling one on me now. That's perfect. Just leave it on that. And then I reminded any staff who was looking over to me that you got to be careful when subbing. Maybe not in those words, but I didn't say it, very maliciously or anything. I just said, hey, you got to be careful when you're subbing because you never know. We might try and quick snap you.
McDaniel and you have any other conversation other than the one that we saw there in that particular moment?
No, I have never actually talked to him. I like him from what I hear of him. I think he seems like a likable guy. I like the way that he talks in press conferences. The few clips I've seen. So yeah, I got respect for him. He's paid his dues and made his way up. He hired Todd Nielsen. AJ remembers Todd probably. He's one of the most hilarious coaches I've ever been around. He's kind of an analytics guy, hilarious dude. So to hire Todd, you must have a good personality and enjoy some jokes every now and then. So big kudos to Mike.
Did you feel that when you were on the field? Like, oh, there's a guy that's near my intelligence level here. He went to Yale. You two, Jeopardy. Who wins, you think? You think you think he's got a big brain. That's what everybody's saying. Big brain on that guy.
Look, my competition, I believe, is Cheech Marin. So if Mike can beat Cheech, then I'll take Mike on. But I want you, Cheech. I want you.
Hell yeah, Cheech.
Okay.
Multiple-time Celebrity Jeopardy winner.
Oh, celebrity. Cheech is a celebrity. Hell yeah, Cheech.
Like Cheech and Chong?
Come on, Cheech. Is that Cheech from Cheech and Chong?
Yeah, the Cheech.
It is. Yeah.
Cheech. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, Cheech. I didn't know he's won multiple Celebrity Jeopardies. He's the smartest notable human being. Pothead.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
You know what Cheech is famous for saying? Like AQ said earlier? It's a plant, bro.
Hell yeah. It is, isn't it?
Right. You are what you eat.
Cheech gets higher, gets smarter than everybody else.
No idea.
Cheech, hey, thank you. Thank you, Cheech.
Love you, Cheech.
Shout out, Cheech.
Look at that mustache, too. That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. So you guys are going to go one-on-one, Celebrity Jeopardy? You think you got him? I mean, you handled your business, right? Who was it, Mr. Wonderful?
I want a tournament. I want to do it. I want to be a part of a tournament. Let's get let's do a bunch of waves. Let's have 9 people come out of those waves. We'll do 3 semifinal games, and then we'll do a final. And see who makes it.
Who wants some, huh? Who wants some?
Fauci wants some. Fauci wants to go head-to-head.
Fauci with Aaron. Oh, you remember? Yeah, I remember what you said, Aaron. I remember what you said about everything I did. Oh, you and Fauci. Oh,
bring it on. I'll tell you who doesn't want some, though.
Oh.
Mr. Wonderful. He doesn't want anything. He doesn't want some.
He already had a taste, didn't he?
Yeah.
If I heard the story correctly from people that were with Aaron at Celebrity Jeopardy, Mr. Wonderful and team really thought this was kind of a layup for old Mr. Wonderful because you know how many businesses he's running. Maybe a practice round took place where Mr. Wonderful was really on top of it.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden the lights came on.
Oh, he got embarrassed.
Oh,
boy, did he get embarrassed.
It's not fantastic anymore, is it, Mr. Wonderful?
No.
And some mark on this side.
Astronaut.
You did an astronaut.
Look at that outfit I'm wearing. That is all-time
Classy.
bad right there.
Yeah, hey.
Looks sweet.
I don't want to say anything about you because I go through weight things. This is off-season. Did you used to go through, were you bigger there than you normally are?
Pat, that was back when I was still, that was 2015, and I was still eating dairy and gluten pretty frequently.
Oh, yeah.
End of 2015, I finally had surgery on my knee to clean up my joints, and I gave up, dairy and gluten, and my face thinned out, and I said, man, I don't look so fat anymore. I like that.
Hey, you look good, Aaron. You look good.
Nice.
But, like Dave would say, loves to tell me, back when you were fat, we were winning championships.
It's true. You think about diving back into the ice cream for these last 2 weeks? Huh?
I might do it. You never know.
Not a bad idea. Connor has last question for you before we get to the old book club. Can't wait for it. Already been teased once.
Yeah, Aaron, J.J. Watt's retiring today. Did you ever fall victim to the J.J. swat, and do you have any stories about him? Because we actually showed a clip earlier, and he did do the belt in your face after he sacked you, and then he threw it to the ground.
Well, that was not really a sack. Let's be honest. That was a run alert, and the guy totally blew the run alert to the right, and it was a run play with a run alert, and he was unblocked on the backside because obviously if the ball had been handed off, he would have been way out of the play. So, to me, that doesn't really count as a sack. It might put down in the record books as one, but it just goes to the now famous adage: "Don't do the belt."
Whoa!
Hell yeah!
What happened?
Nobody who's ever done the belt has really had success, a whole lot of success after doing that. So that's just the way it goes. I didn't make up the rules. People have put together compilations of it. Now, there was a game where we weren't even actually playing, and there was a member of the Bears who had a sack down 45-10 who did something that resembled kind of the belt.
Whoa.
And ended up tearing his knee up. There was another player on the Lions who did a celebration as well, premature, because there was a penalty on the play.
Oh, yeah.
And he got hurt in the process. So that's like the worst that can happen. Maybe the best case scenario is that you make the game close for, into the fourth quarter and end up losing. That's kind of been the stand. I'm not, that's not me shit talking. That's just me reciting
facts.
What has happened, the facts in the past.
So
now maybe I'll get fact checked by one of those Reuters people, and which will prove to maybe not be entirely true. But we know who funds those people, so I won't really worry what they have to say.
Oh! Who are you talking about? Who funds them?
Obviously, if you want to get in the funding game, you can obviously have an open forum here if you'd like to. I'm going to refrain from the convo because I haven't done enough research, but I will take your information as my own going forward, so know that you have that power with whatever you're about to say. J.J. Watt is retiring, though. I guess it has been announced. Hell of a football player for the NFL for a long time. He did do the belt and threw the belt out. They end up losing in that particular game, I assume. I didn't know that was the case, but now I am learning that.
Oh, okay. This is another. I guess that one actually counts.
Yeah.
There was another one I was thinking of that didn't count. So let me just take that back. I got fat there.
By who's funding?
It wasn't by Reuters, so we know it's actually probably true. Kudos to JJ for that. But I believe that game I threw 6 touchdowns. And we
Oh! All right, anyways, congrats on retirement.
Let me just say a couple nice things about JJ. He's a Wisconsin guy. He's had a phenomenal career. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So kudos to JJ, going out on your own terms. That's always something we want to do. Obviously hasn't been the best season down in Arizona, but he had a really good game the other night with a bunch of TFLs, and he's got nothing but he should have nothing but pride in what he's accomplished in his career, and he's going to be getting one of those gold jackets in about 5 years.
Hell yeah. He's a shit talker, too, so all of this is something he would enjoy. Congrats, JJ.
There you go, JJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now the best time of the week if you have a brain. One of these. Our show has contributed to a lot of these getting worse and getting dumber.
Yeah, that's right.
But then one segment came along last year that made these get bigger and better.
What?
And it's not something we ever thought we'd be associated with, but now that we are nothing but proud to
What are
be
you holding in your hand? What is that?
It's a golden brain.
Golden brain.
Yeah, it's a medulla oblongata.
Please. Oh yeah, there we go.
You see, that's the stem there that connects to the neck bone, and then the front right lobe here. This is where the creativity. They call it just an airbag, pretty much. You're like, oh, this one doesn't matter. What is it? Oh, it's your personality and everything like that.
Yep.
And then over here, this is the shit. This is the brain. This
Memories.
is the memories and the smart stuff. And then back here, that's a fucking big time area. Myron Roll told us about it.
That's right.
Something's going on right here.
Thank you, Dr. Myron Roll.
It's really important. There's some gray matter in here, but you can work on that with modern technology. Ain't that right, Aaron? Ain't that right?
Well, I'd ask AQ that. He probably knows a little more about it.
A lot about the hippocampus. That's what it all comes down to, the hippocampus.
What the hell is that? What is the hippocampus?
I believe him.
In the brain scans, the 2 little triangles off the side. That's what we're looking for. You just got to be in the bell curve. That's what they told me.
Well, that's so they don't have to pay you. Once again, this is the NFL doing a test for line of duty. They're the ones giving you the response.
Yeah, looks good.
This guy's pessimistic about everything except for this. This one, like, oh, the NFL told me I'm
healthy.
healthy.
Yeah. Woo! I'm good. think I'm good.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this thing's getting bigger all over the world because of what we're about to do. It is time for the latest installment of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club 2.0. We had the Mastery of Love all the way through, having the
1984.
Yep.
That was one of them.
That was one of them. And then the
COVID files.
The coronation by Charles Dickens, Charles Eisenstein. We had the missing element, recovery, freedom from our addictions by Russell Brand. Into the Wild, Keanu Reeves, Love Wins, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, Healing by David Elliott, and How to Change Your Mind. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for book 12 of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club 2.0. We actually got sent a gift here. I have to point it. All the books of the book club were put into an ornament that was sent to the office by somebody.
Sweet.
We have no idea how they got our address. Kind of creeps us out, but certainly an amazingly thoughtful gift. And this is the Aaron Rodgers Book Club commemorated in a ornament.
Didn't quite make it on the tree, though, huh?
It was. Zito just took it off the tree to bring it over here.
Nice, Zito. Good job, man.
Well,
Zito.
Baby
Zito. Zito's also the one that controls what's on this back board here, so we weren't able to put the book club books on the back board while he was doing that. So that's why you heard quite a delay in the drum roll. Nonetheless, great work, Zito.
But a couple people jumped in there and helped us with the book. So
yeah,
good job there. I think that was Ty and maybe Connor. Nice job, boys.
Hell yeah, it's the best thing of all time. What is this week's book of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club 2.0?
This week is a 1951 book by Alan Watts called The Wisdom of Insecurity.
Yes. Okay.
Alan Watts.
With a subtitle that says, A Message for an Age of Anxiety.
Oh, they knew it was coming.
And this is a reprinted copy with a foreword from Deepak Chopra.
Of course. Shout out.
But a really great book by philosopher Alan Watts, who is just a brilliant mind, and one that I really enjoyed getting to on the bye week. So big shout out to The Wisdom of Insecurity and everybody dealing with any type of anxiety, which we know AJ deals with a ton of it in his own way through snorting various different things, I'm sure.
Creatine.
Okay.
Yeah,
creatine and other things.
Testosterone.
But maybe, Age, maybe I'll bring you one of these here once the season ends, so you can be a better husband to Laura, because she really puts up. She really puts up with a lot.
It'd be great for all of us to be better significant others and better
And
family.
speaking of anxiety, Pat, big congratulations to you, right? Am I right? The McAfees are going from 2 to 3.
Yeah. A lot of anxiety.
That's good.
Thank you.
When's the due date?
May, in
Right.
late May. So, I was born May 2nd. I'm a Taurus. I'm a bull. Right. So obviously I know all the significant downfalls of that potential month being born in, but I'm so excited. But you're right. Anxiety, very real through this whole thing.
Yeah, you might late May though. That's not Taurus anymore. You know what sign that is, right?
Oh, it's not too late. Okay, it's mid-late. We're still
Mid-late, okay.
Mid-late. We're still in there. What is late May?
Gemini.
Are you a Gemini?
Is that good or bad?
AQ.
So,
May
so let's
May
Can't have
22nd.
that
get
happen.
her a little earlier.
Fucking induced a little bit
And
earlier.
Mackenzie, come on a little earlier, girl. All right. Anyways,
It's Capricorn season right now, and there's a Capricorn actually, on this panel right now. Big birthday coming up.
happy Capricorn season, AJ.
We should all head down to D.C. to celebrate his birthday again.
January 6th. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is AJ's birthday. You're right. Thank you for bringing that up, Aaron. You're the best. We will certainly have a countdown
Thank you, Jesus.
to AJ. Wow, that was Tone, actually. He's been talking.
I was not at the dust up, Tone. I was here.
That was your birthday party. That was your birthday party.
Dust up.
Anyways, thank you so much, Aaron. You're the best. Good luck this weekend against a familiar opponent in which you need to win. The Vikings are hot, as are you guys. Should be a great game. Can't wait to talk to you next Tuesday.
All right, guys. Go Browns. See
Hell
you.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron!
I forgot about the old January 6th birthday.
Yeah.
I'm happy we remembered that. It would have came and went, wouldn't it? We wouldn't even
We would
remember
never
that.
have remembered it. Never.
All right, let's get to a break. Let's react to the reactions. Let's chit-chat about the book. And then let's go in the trenches on the other side. Woo! It's been a hell of a Tuesday.
Unreal.
Hell of a Tuesday. Let's end it in proper fashion on the other side of this break. AQ is going to break down some football. Then he's going to attempt to make some putts for a giveaway. It's Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 27th. We'll see you on the other side of this 5-minute break. Take 5!
There's fear around what does it mean if I'm not 100% and I don't play my absolute best? Can I live with that reality? And I think many people can't.
Rodgers has been playing through pain a lot here. We've seen him throughout his career play through pain, but now two things, the thumb and the ribs.
For me, I can, because I know what competitive greatness is. Going out there and trying to do your best all the time and putting your body on the line. If you're 90%, 80%, 70%, gives your team the best chance to win, then you're out there and you're playing.
Aaron's going to suck it up. You know what he's going to do. This is their seasons on the line.
And also being able to look in the mirror. I mean, that's honestly the only person you have to really appease, whose opinion you got to live up to, is that person staring right back at you. That's why I've always wanted to play, and that's why I've never wanted to come out of games, because I want to look in the mirror and know that I did everything I could to be out there with my guys, put my body on the line willingly. That's the nature of being a fierce competitor and striving for competitive greatness, is that it's not really a question. I don't need somebody to tell me, maybe another week you'll be 100%. Maybe just wait 1 week. No.
Felt like I was in a fucking movie right there, dude.
This is my first time in Athens, and I'm going to say this place is
Isn't it glorious?
Absolutely beautiful.
There it is. There it is.
We had a little drizzle earlier, and you know where I come from. Rain makes corn. Corn makes whiskey. They make whiskey in Tennessee, so I think the rain is making the whiskey, what? That's being drank all over. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Give me the volunteers, Luke Bryan. Sorry about it, Uga. Tennessee, a team of destiny. In Luke Bryan's fight.
This is the first time with this rivalry. Both teams have been good in a long time. What was your message to the team this year, and essentially an elimination game this week?
Well, hunt with a purpose. That's the biggest thing, is we want to go out and play aggressive. They're coming to our house. We had to go to their place last year, and it was wild and crazy. We wanted to be crazy today. We want them to affect the game, and our guys know our best game's ahead of us. So we're hoping it's this one.
Hell yeah, Coach.
Hell yeah. Legs crossed.
Allen Ryan what do we have here?
Look at that.
Go for it.
Baloney from this man's grill.
Go ahead, Jordan. No.
It's on his nose.
It's right on his nose. No, it's everywhere.
Bombing from football.
Oh, my God. Bad sandwiches going everywhere.
Last week against NC State.
Oh, no, Bear. Oh, no. No, Bear, a graphic just came up on the screen.
Here's the deal. I didn't know you had
0-3.
Here's the deal. I'm terrible.
What's your column record? That's all they need to know.
33 and 16.
33 and 16.
And that's what I'm saying. All these
Dominating.
games early
What's
in the
that?
week that I'm
That's
writing
his
off,
column
I'm doing
record.
great. By the time I get to Saturday, I'm like talking myself off, picking terrible games. It's terrible. I'm doing a terrible
Get out of your
job.
own head, Bear.
I'm a good handicapper and a bad better.
Not a lot of people see the column.
That's what bothers me.
Now, all this is pretty sophisticated. Here you have a classic bunch set, crack toss to the right. Pin guy, pin and pull. Running back gets out behind. Darnell Washington,
big boy.
6'7", 270. Pick up 15 to 20 yards. Remember, the tight end was lined up right behind the tackle there. Let's flip the side. Same exact formation. What are they going to do? Crack toss, pin and pull. Fake the toss, and it allows a high-low route, which Florida has to operate on, and the best tight end in the country is wide open. It's that type of stuff that they do that the anonymous coach pointed out, that it's high-level football that they've been able to do against everybody.
Attaboy, kid. Nice. Nicely done.
I got
First
a
tape.
little film.
First tape right there. First tape.
I did some football talk.
Mom, look, I did it.
An absolute dog named Dustin Hopkins. Bury home 4 field goals, probably with a torn hamstring at some point. Burying home a winner in overtime. Not being able to stand on his goddamn leg. Having to fall because his foot cannot withstand the weight of his body. But it can withstand the weight of a program, of a franchise, of an organization looking to find their way. And in OT, when push came to shove, Dustin Hopkins did what he did 3 other times last night with a torn ham. He puts the ball through the fucking uprights. He was in massive amount of pain. His teammates saw him. The world saw him. They hoisted this one-legged man up onto their shoulders to say, pal, you are the grittiest dog we have ever seen. He hit a 64-yard fucking fair catch out of his own end zone right here. Okay, 14-0, end of the second quarter. He's in his own end zone, 64-yard fair catch. A lot of people said, guy shouldn't have fair caught it. Who cares? The returner put his head like this and was like, oh, I probably won't be able to return this. So he gets a fair catch. The ball has to be hit so high and so far to be fair caught. If you get a fair catch over 50 yards, it's great. If you get a 60-yard fair catch, people are like, this dude is a stud. A 64-yard fair catch is fucking demolished. He murders the ball. He has quickly climbed the ranks alongside A.J. Cole of Vegas and Tommy Townsend of the Chiefs of having, like, I think the best punting in the league right now, in the game right now. Guys that can hit balls that nobody else can hit. Camarda started out bad. I think he was rushing. I think he was worried. I think he was trying to get it off too quick. He was in his own head. He has settled in here over like the last 5 weeks. Murders the football.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston College.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 27, 2022. Hour 4 starts right now. Football is what we talk about most. Football just wrapped up its 16th weekend of an 18-weekend season last night as the Chargers stamped their ticket to the playoffs, beating the Indianapolis Colts in Lucas Oil Stadium. Although an incredible national anthem was done by a man named Trey Daniels on a saxophone, and a halftime show by the Colts cheerleaders and Colts drumline with the help of everybody in their cell phones for a light show was magnificent. The play on the field was horse shit from the Indianapolis Colts. The Chargers dominated. They're into the playoffs. The Colts are now in contention for the number 1 overall pick yet again.
Let's go.
Going into the season, Super Bowl hopes, at least playoff contention implications with the team that had 8 Pro Bowlers last year. You bring in Matt Ryan. All those players are still on the team. Matt Ryan seemingly can't fit in. The team is dead. Now they're one of the worst in the NFL. We shall see how it goes. The tale of 2 different teams. The Chargers are going this way. Colts going this way. Week 16 is wrapped up. Week 17 is on the precipice. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday just wrapped up. What were some things he said, AJ Hawk, to my left, you're right, that you think are notable or something we should expand upon?
Well, he mentioned obviously his teammates. What's the term he uses? Competitive what?
Greatness, 4 or 5 times. I enjoyed him talking about that.
He continued to mention that and talk about guys that are smart and do things the right way and that you can trust, I guess, and that are accountable to your teammates. Like, that's what I took from that whole talk, basically.
So being a pro is basically competitive greatness in his eyes. That's kind of how he's describing it and defining it. And he shouted out a few of his teammates. He talked about how they're in a much better place now than they were maybe 7 weeks ago. Trending in the right direction at Ty Schmidt, one half of the talks at table alongside Boston Connor. Ty owns the Green Bay Packers, obviously one of the shareholders. After listening to Aaron chat, what did you hear from it? What did you get from it?
Yeah, same deal. I mean, and like when he talks about Alan Lazard and stuff like that, that's no bullshit, because there will be weeks where Lazard has like 1 catch and big dog too. You know, like he's, in terms of looking at like the stats and the box score, like he's never going to show up in there really. I mean, that was by far his most productive game catching wise and scoring a touchdown of the season. But like you take those guys out, and in terms of competitive greatness, like doing that week after week, like when they're 4-8, but you still need to go on a run, like it'd be very easy, I think, especially if you have a bunch of younger guys on the team, to just pack it in and be like, all right, fuck it, season's over. But when you see those guys going day in, day out and doing everything they need to do, like it does make you feel like, okay, this team has turned a corner, and like we still do have a lot to play for this year.
Got to beat the Vikings this weekend in Lambeau. Got to beat the Lions the weekend after that in Lambeau. Need the Commanders to lose 1 or Giants to lose 2. Yep. Everything's feasible in this 2022 NFL season. One half of the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys, who disappointed Aaron with his boot selection, but we promised that the Ostriches that lived a great life that are now boots for Diggs died in their sleep of natural causes. Tone, what did you hear from Aaron right there?
I thought it was kind of eye-opening, his remarks on Tua and potentially sitting out maybe the rest of the season.
Yeah, he said sit it down.
Yeah.
While in contention.
And AJ, I saw you actually. Did you see AJ get? He like started to boil.
Yeah,
White
knuckling
No,
over there.
You know,
I didn't know if he meant shut it down for life because a lot of people are saying that.
Okay, well, that is why you asked the question because I feel like your thoughts on people telling Tua he should never play football again are like kind
It's not our job.
Correct. Out of pocket.
The world's starting to do that though right now. It's starting to become a thing, obviously, because everybody cares about everybody so much, and we appreciate people caring about people. But also, there's lives that have to be lived. There's professions, and you have to work. You have to earn a living in the legacy and everything you work. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not our opinion that should matter at all in the Tua discussion on whether or not he should continue to play. It is alarming though. So I enjoyed hearing Aaron say that, like, hey, couple in the same year is tough, man. That is not a good news. Shut it down for the year would be a big deal though if he did. If they made that announcement, it would be a massive ordeal in the NFL story.
It'll be a huge deal, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there that think that's the only option. Like that think there's no way he can or should come back on the field this season. A lot of people think never again, it feels like.
Well, I guess we have to remember there's only 2 weekends left of the regular season, then we're in the playoffs. This is like when people say, see you next year on like the 30th of December.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so shut it down for the year is 2 weeks left of the regular season, then playoffs on the other side of that. So I guess it sounds a little bit different now than maybe week 10, week 11, whenever things were happening. AQ, we saw you get real excited about all these conversations. Yep. Every time I ask you if you want to ask a question to any of our guests, you always say no. Why do you say no? And what would you have asked Aaron if you could have afterwards?
Well, if I've asked questions this year. Where am I at? I'm on here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's go. I've asked questions. I've asked one to him, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asked one to Pat P last week.
Oh, yeah. It was a good question, too. Led to a good conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. See, there you go. So I have something. If I got something to ask, I ask.
So there you go.
16 weeks into this.
Yeah. What questions did you even ask?
But
him?
I
Do you
do
remember?
thoroughly, like I said, I thoroughly enjoy just listening to him. It's like very fascinating listening to the way his brain operates.
Why is that?
Because first of all, I think from a football standpoint, he's literally, again, I've mentioned this to you off air, like his recall of plays, games from 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6, whatever it is, right? Like even earlier in the season, even from the game we just watched is incredible. I love the way he operates. Like that conversation today reminded me so much of being around Tom, being around coaches. They think winning football is trust, right? It's trust, it's loyalty, it's accountability, it's guys that do all the right things. Like they'd rather play with guys who
2-star guys.
Yeah, there you go.
5-star loyalty.
Bingo. Like that may not be
And accountability.
Crazy talent, but they know they're going to do the right thing every time. They're going to do, and so that's why I enjoy listening to him every week.
He's an old school dude. It doesn't get talked about because he's a fucking hippie. You know what I mean? He's
And
a
Tom's the same way. Whenever I used to listen to Tom was like, give me that guy. Don't care what he's going to, don't care if he runs a 4.8, but if he does the right thing.
If he's going to be where I think he's going to be.
Exactly.
That's great for all parties.
So Tom's close to AJ for all the quarterbacks you've dealt with?
AJ?
Or, sorry, for Aaron.
Aaron?
Tom's close to Aaron?
Tom's most like Aaron?
Just in the way that his brain operates, yeah, for sure.
That's those people up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why whenever he brings up, like, new world order and stuff like that, he's 4-time MVP, back-to-back MVP. So whenever he's making little Illuminati jokes, it's hard not to automatically go like, oh, wait, you would know. You would know. You would be the guy that would you like to expound upon it? He said, well, we could, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was willing to do that. When he's talking about the Broncos with Nathaniel Hackett, who he wanted to bat for, put over, he said there's a number of reasons. We don't have to get into those. I'm like, oh, see?
Okay. I like
that's
it.
one of those things.
He said Russ stinks.
That's one of those. I don't know if he said that. Do you know how he feels about Russ? Do him and Russ know each other? I assume all those quarterbacks just know each other and hang out with each other and are all in a group text.
Yeah, I mean, if they do know each other, I don't think they know each other very well, but I'm sure it's a handful of things he has on his brain on what the reasoning for Nathaniel Hackett to not be there anymore. Not just one thing.
Just as one of his closest friends and allies, what do you think are a couple of them?
I don't know.
Oh, you're not going to
honestly.
speak for him.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I can't speak for him, but I don't know.
If you had to guess,
obviously
then.
quarterback play would be at the forefront. I would imagine.
I'll be excited to hear Aaron. Do you think you'll do that sometime?
I think so.
Eventually.
I didn't even think about, like, you know how you said, like, well, there's a human involved here, so maybe some grace and a little bit of time, take a beat, take in the loss and the sadness. And I'm like, sadness? He should be pumped. Get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He saw what it was like. He's been around the NFL a long time. He knows what's good and what isn't good. I know he got a head coaching opportunity first time, long time, and everybody wants that head coaching gig, especially that's why everybody's working. So it sucks that it ended the way it did. But there had to be a couple moments where he was in here. It was like, this ain't what I thought it was.
Yeah.
This is not what I thought it was going to be at all.
Just a couple moments, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, a few of
Just
those.
a couple.
Just being like, man, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So getting fired, I don't want to say I automatically assumed he'd be relieved because his contract is still good. It is guaranteed. $800 million in coaches and GMs still being paid by the NFL owners right now for fired guys and their contracts being guaranteed. So that's why I was like, maybe get Nathaniel Hackett back in a little bit of happiness back in Green Bay, let him do his thing. I guess that's not realistic. And that's on me for being a mark, pretty much, to the situation.
Oh, no, same deal. That was the first thing I thought yesterday when he got shit canned. It was like, all right, let's go clean all the shit out of his office, turn the light on. I expect him to be back at his desk, prepping gold zone plays come Friday. We need this on Sunday.
Me too. We were big-time marks for that, though, I think.
We
weren't even thinking, like, human.
Well, yeah, like the flip side, like him not having to ask, Jerry Rosberg, like, hey, can I go to the bathroom anymore? Like that I'm sure he's relieved that he doesn't have to do that kind of bullshit.
Probably, yeah.
Raise his hand.
Yeah.
Can I call a timeout right now, Jerry? No. No. Why would you call a timeout? I got to poop. Should have done that before a game. When you get fired, I'm going to run this thing. They did offer the defense coordinator, the head coaching position over there. And
don't want it.
No way.
That came out, yeah. So Jerry Rosberger got brought in as the time management consultant who coached with the Ravens for a long time. Big football brain.
Awesome coach. Awesome coach.
AQ's been around him. I've been around him for a Pro Bowl. He's been around him real time because he worked for the Ravens or played for the Ravens. Big brain on that guy.
Yeah, he's a great special teams coach. Those guys love him there. Harbs is a special teams guy. Had him as obviously assistant head coach the whole time there. Phenomenal coach. And I spent a little time on the wedge there a little bit. Before I starting their guard. I was on the wedge for the first couple
How'd
weeks.
you block on that?
Had to learn.
Oh, I had a good one in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. What
was your technique though?
Fuck him up.
Acrisure.
Find the L2, fuck him up.
What was it?
With what? Like a
What?
forearm?
That skull? Look at his skull.
With your hands, or did you lead with?
Hold on. Can you, just before we get in the trenches.
It kind of went like this.
Boom. That's the problem. That's honestly the problem.
Yep. That's the problem.
That's part of the problem.
Change the game.
Great form.
What did you do whenever you were free? Had no work as a center? What was
Same
the
thing.
Yeah.
Real similar technique. Boom, boom.
Boom. And that's what we're talking about.
Can't have that.
You try and come up through the chin strap. Right through the chin strap.
With your
crown of the head.
Your helmet.
Crown.
And that's why they have the Guardian now.
And that's what we're talking about. The Guardian, the rules changed, the UNCs, the this, the that. The concussion protocol is going to be tough to figure out because that's where we were just a few years ago. Just a few years ago. That was taught. No,
Times are changing.
It was normal.
That was celebrated.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this guy. He's willing to do anything. Look at it. Did you dive head first, no hands, no guardrail, this guy. No bumpers at all.
God, I love it.
Brain first into him. That's the type of teammate we need. We need more of that. Hey, that baby AQ.
That baby Q.
That was like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Getting game balls. That guy's getting game balls back then for that.
Guy's on highlights. He's on commercials. He's getting deals. He's getting talked about in team. This guy's the guy that goes all in. Now it's like, was that potentially a hit that caused one of those concussions? We should get them out of here. Let's evaluate them. And if not, we're doing terrible. I don't know how they find the balance, honestly. Just from where the era that I was very lucky enough to ride the coattails of people in the NFL, from the era that you played, it's hard, I think, to find that balance. But they'll be able to do it, right? Yeah.
Of course.
It's so different already, though.
I thought last night was a great hit. I thought it was a great hit.
Derwin James.
It was a great hit, right?
Eviscerate.
I mean, it was a great hit if we're talking about.
AJ, you had to love that hit last night, right?
Yeah, but what I was saying, how we've come a long way is the fact that this is a hit that would be, 10 years ago? Absolutely highlight a Sports Center, lead off the show,
Commercial
and here,
today.
like, we're all we're all freaked out about it now. Like, that's how different we already are.
You should have heard the stadium as soon as this had happened. There was a different sound in the stadium from
That's
everybody.
why you play zone. That's why you play zone, so you can line those up. Jeez.
Yeah, he goes helmet through shoulder pad to button.
Cover two. Corner's got the flat, right?
Yep.
There it is.
Jeez.
Ain't it.
He was out too, though.
Oh, yeah.
He was not.
Yeah, they both were.
Jelani was
yeah.
open.
Yeah.
Dooling got up faster than he did.
Well, 10 years ago, too, they would have him stumbling, thrown his ass back out there. Like, hey, let's go.
You got to call it D.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, did you see the hand signals or not? You didn't
Right.
see that.
What are you doing?
What are you
Wake
doing?
up. Let's go.
Hey, you're the captain of our D. You're a quarterback of our secondary, Derwin. Let's go. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Of course, they're on their way.
Just got $2.5 billion for Sunday Ticket.
That's right.
They'll figure all that money. They'll figure it out. Right, AJ?
Yeah, for sure.
Just like we figured out this year that if you learn about the trenches, you're going to learn more about football.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a Tuesday routine and ritual that we are all. Are you okay?
Easy.
The smoke is circulating today for some reason. It's hanging
it
around.
easy, Cheech.
Jeez, Cheech, yeah. Fucking big brain Cheech. I'm so happy to hear that.
I'd never do that.
So
Bro.
he's the Celebrity Jeopardy champ?
Yeah, dude. You show up, this guy's smoking in your face and fucking outsmarting you right in your face.
Gotcha.
Don't even worry about it, dude. That's Cheech life. I'm so happy to hear that. Think about him just high, running through facts, just learning stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, lock that one in. Yeah, exactly. Lock that one in. And then on Jeopardy, just boom, boom, boom. In his brain, going back to the couch that he was sitting on when he learned this piece of information. Oh, yeah. Boom. Boom. Just fucking, that's amazing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get smarter at football, get better at football. It is time to go in the trenches with 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, A.Q. Shipley.
Let's go. Hey, these guys haven't been on since, I think, the very first segment of the year. We had McCaffrey run the big touchdown early in the year. McCaffrey's no longer there. We're going to start with
What?
Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard.
Excuse me?
Canadian.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard.
All right,
From Oklahoma State.
I love it. And they opened up this game. I think he had 30 plus on his first 2 carries of the game. He was over 100. Foreman was over 100. These guys are riding high with the Carolina Panthers motto of keep pounding. So check it out. Here's what we got. We're going to, let's go back right here. Check this out. We got the fly motion, which they're in zone coverage. They're all going to bump. This is something you know going into the game. Hey, are they a bump team or are they a man team where he'll run with it? We know going into the game they're going to be a bump team. So when that's the case, we X him because we know he'll go out of the box when he goes in motion. So now this becomes the new point. We know that going in. We're going to run the zone. Boom, 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 boom to boom. And then we're going to take advantage. Aiden Hutchinson. Stud. We all know that, right? Having a great rookie year.
Dog.
But we're going to take advantage of his aggressiveness and him being a young guy. We know that he's going to chase flat down the line of scrimmage, and we're not even going to block him, and we're going to run what we call a bend back. Watch the over-the-top ball handling. Sell like we're handing off here. Ball handle back over here. We get to bend back with him coming across, bypassing here. We get to crack block there, and then him all the way around blocking the corner. Watch this thing come out the back door. This shit is awesome.
Whoa, big ball handling. Dramatic.
Right there. Selling like we're running the zone. Over the top.
Oh, gotcha, Hutch.
Oh, no.
Sucked up.
Got sucked up.
Here comes the crack, and then we get him around the corner. We call that a bend back play. This thing is awesome. To open the game like this is incredible. What do we got there?
Big gaping hole.
They had about 1,000 of those.
Yeah, they did that all game.
And if you watch it, go back to the beginning. This is what's awesome about this. This is another thing we talk about. How can we make it easier on him? Check it out. With this ball handling showing here, these guys don't have to get any movement. All we're trying to do is seal, create a fucking wall. He's going to come here, seal. Come here, seal. We got all these dudes. Once they fucking declare, boom, we just create a wall. And they're just going to seal everybody that side. There it is. There's your wall. Bypass Hutch, get the crack block there, out the gate on the corner. This is awesome.
Welcome to the league, Rook.
Gotcha, pal.
Gotcha.
AJ, what do you do there, pal?
I mean, that is a great play design to take advantage of a young guy that is very aggressive. I mean, you see what Anzalone is at his 34. He sees it.
Yeah.
He sees the tight end coming back, and he goes and shoots it, but he just needs some help. Someone knock it back to him.
Icky. Ate him up.
Look at that. And The block was won from the play, the start of the play. It was incredible.
They were screwed.
Who's the run coordinator down there drawing up that play, you know?
I know the O-line coach is James Campen, who, AJ, was he in Green Bay?
Oh, yeah, Campy was in Green Bay pretty much my whole time.
Yeah.
He's the man.
There you go.
Good play, Campy.
Hey, hell of a play, Campy.
Let's go.
Baby Campy.
Hey,
more of those.
I love this. Here's what we got to do here.
You guys bullied the Lions, Campy.
Yeah. Wasn't fair.
Yeah. Made them look like the
same old Lions. They're dead.
But they ain't, because they're the brand new Lions. Who looked like the same old Lions.
They did. It is to note that the Carolina Panthers had like 800,000 yards. Yeah.
320 or 562, 362, 523.
They had a ton of yards. A ton of yards rushing.
They didn't stop.
They pissed all over them.
Yeah.
Ton of yards rushing.
Just Motor City Dan Campbell comes over. That was an ass beating, man. After they took good work, man.
Great job, man.
Man.
I love it.
Man.
All right, check it out. Buffalo Bills.
Did we steal this? It was just that cold. Look at this shot. I mean, the shot looks.
No, it was that cold.
That cold. Yeah, it was a little cold.
Hey, so this is what's awesome about this play.
Look at that.
We get the tackle pulling for him. We get the man block here. We get the down block here. I love this play. Whenever we get this tackle going here, this center has free access to him. Or, I love this technique. I did this technique my whole career. We call it a high leg. He's going to kind of do this little gallop. And then he's looking to either clear hip or just climb. If nothing is here, he just goes high to clear the gap and then get vertical and go here. Watch the center here on the cleanup shot right here. Watch this. Wait, there's the slant.
Chip.
Boom!
Oh, jeez.
How good is that?
Gotcha, shoulder chew.
Great cut on the backside by the tight end, right? Dawson Knox getting down there. Let's get underneath him.
Good cut.
Get the cut. And then we get the hip shot from Bates to center. Boom! Boom! He climbs. Now look at the kick out block by the tackle around.
Oh, no.
What do we have here, boys?
Big gaping hole.
Boom. Wiggle. See ya.
Hey, and I think my man Zeke might have brought up a good point. Last week, or I think it was, when the Bears played the Eagles, he blitzes hard on the A-gap, chooses the wrong side. Now takes a little bit of his aggressive away. Right? A little bit of his aggressiveness away. Now he comes down here, and rather than shooting like he has and taking out legs, he gets flat-footed here whenever the back is here, flat-footed on Brisker, one-on-one in the open field. Instead of coming down, once you get flat-footed, you got to make one guy miss. The back's got the advantage.
Brisker.
Hey, Jay, how come they're not playing defense anymore?
I mean, you want to play safety in the league, you got to make those tackles, and that is almost impossible to do from where he is at.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's so tough.
Come up.
Good move by Singletary.
He didn't get sucked up, though.
Yeah, because this could be a throw still.
His only chance is, to fire up in there right now and make a pile and take legs out.
Super well blocked play up front. They also, I think, the next possession after the fumble had a big run by Cook. A super well blocked play. These boys are humming up front right now, going into the playoffs.
Great time for it.
Great time. December football. I love it. I love it.
Oh, little wiggle there.
See ya.
How nice
Oh,
is that?
look who's back.
Well. Would have never guessed
Is it
this.
Shanahan?
Coach Forrester.
There it is, Coach Forrester.
Here we go.
That guy's in love. He's a father.
Here we go. I love what they do. And again, we talk about this every week. We can exchange responsibilities. It doesn't matter who the people are. It's just different numbers with different responsibilities. This could be him this week. It could be 85. It could be Juszczyk, 44. We could use Ayuk sometimes going in motion and being the fullback. Doesn't matter who it is. We're going to go here with the behind-the-back handoff to Ray McLeod, which I think is his first career NFL touchdown. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
That, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Correct.
And now we are going to use Christian McCaffrey. Hey, leads the league in all-purpose yards, doesn't he?
Not a Pro Bowler.
Not a Pro Bowler, but what we're going to use here is Christian McCaffrey as a fullback with the same scheme they've done all year with the outside zone, strong, and we're going to get him with the inside-out help with Kittle, and then we got another tight end. We're basically 1, 2, 3 for 1, 2 in the support, and this thing gets out the gate. This is awesome. Hey, check out the center. Coming back on Jonathan Allen when the backs, because his responsibility is to climb to this wheel. Will shoots, put the brakes, wheel it back, and watch this. Here we go.
Oh,
no.
no, Johnny.
Oh, no.
Johnny, be good.
No. Now let's move front side.
Now let's move front side. Great job running off the ball by McGlinchey. Now look at this. McCaffrey with the kick out. Let Kittle climb. Tight end to support. And we are out the gate.
Bye-bye.
Piss poor angle.
Look at that. Everybody's blocked.
It's Ray Ray's time.
That's a
big
gaping hole.
And your guy down the sideline, Pat.
Yeah, this ref. I mean, if we want to keep an eye on somebody, how old is this guy? We should have done a little bit more research. He does certainly have a 10-yard head start. Watch him running fucking wide open, looking back. Boom, 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 boom.
Great arm.
60%. That guy can roll.
That guy's 50 years old.
Jeez.
Dog.
Good athlete.
It's incredible.
Honestly.
It's incredible.
That's the only thing I saw. Look at him. I'd pull a hamstring right. Bang. There. Boom. Another one. Boom. Another one. Bang. Pow.
6 hamstrings.
6 of them. I
Yeah.
would have pulled 6 hamstrings right there.
Come on.
When was the last time you ran a full sprint? Has anybody done that in a while?
No.
It hurts. Everything about it hurts.
Yeah.
This team, though, with Christian McCaffrey lead blocking, McGlinchey doing his thing, the cutback, Shanahan drawing it up, and Ray McLeod, a returner, getting the ball in open
Right.
field. Let's
Come
go.
on.
Can we just talk about the details with the boys up front? Like these guys, every single time we turn this on, it is a hat on a hat. They are running off the ball, and people are moving. There's holes the size of each hash, right? Like I mean, it's just from hash mark to hash. Yeah, McGlinchey's awesome, and then he puts them on the
Look how he
ground.
comes
too.
out low, too. Look how he comes out low, and then he like buries this backer, too. This is impressive.
I love the way they run off the
69.
ball. Yeah, right tackle.
He runs off with low pad level, too, and then this is awesome. Yump.
Boom. Look at, I do have to ask, though, every time it comes up, because I'd be wrong if I didn't. Isn't this guy tipping plays?
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
No, that's a run. Right immediately.
Yeah,
Seeing
they
him.
probably thought this was a run. Too bad it goes for 77 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, good shit talk.
Go Trent.
Shit.
Gotcha, bitch.
He's
Go,
so
Trent.
good. He's
Come
so
out with your boom box.
Welcome
Keep
to
it
San
rolling.
Fran.
Look at this
bitch.
crew.
Jacksonville, they're doing some nice things too. They're doing some nice things. We're going to stick with. We got another tackle pulling here. We got this guy. This guy.
Yeah, I'm just talking about Skycam right in the middle of the whole
We'll get
field.
there. I think it'll disappear. I think. Back up. Out of Stanford.
Big brain.
Big brain. We are coming. Tackle pulling on the trap right here. And then basically he goes out. We're going to leave him unblocked. We'll take the cheese. Come upfield. We're going to get inside out. And then basically we're here. We're strong here because now we get the double team working back here. Ingram, having a monster year, gets a great cutoff block on the backside. And Etienne is going to find his way with a nice hole up the middle. Look at this.
Not
It's
gonna
so
score.
well blocked. No, he's not.
Yeah, did you put this on here because he didn't score, prick?
Ooh, he didn't score, but it's still a nice play. And these guys are doing some great things against a really good front. Really good front. Look at that. And he's running hard.
He does run hard.
He does run real hard. He's got a
Etienne's
couple runs.
awesome he's awesome to watch on tape.
Yeah, I wish he was scored. I mean,
That'd be nice.
I mean,
AQ, what are your favorite running backs to block for? What's the number one thing they do? Is it patience? What is it?
Run hard. My favorite running back in the last 10 years. Every single time when I was a player, and it was easy for me to watch, when we would play any single team that Seattle played, and being in their division, we saw a lot of the same teams. Chris Carson, it was my favorite back on tape to watch. I don't know if you guys ever watched from Seattle. When he got the ball, he was trying to run people over every single chance he got.
It's like
I love
Pacheco now.
Pacheco.
Yeah.
When Adrian Peterson came to the Cardinals, I got to block for him for a couple weeks. Awesome. Like those are the guys you love to watch.
Fall.
Dave Montgomery.
Boom.
Bingo.
Mike Allstott.
Boom.
Boom.
Peyton Hillis.
Boom.
Brandon Jacobs.
Boom. Ahmad Bradshaw.
I knew you were going there.
Boom.
Jamal Lewis.
Boom.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
He was.
MJD.
Boom. Boom. Bam Bam.
Bam Bam Morris, who was also a coke dealer.
Boom. Corey Dillon.
Boom.
Eddie Lacy.
Boom. Boom. Lorenzo Neal.
But those are the guys. Those are the guys.
AJ Hawk.
Boom. Boom. Mongo.
Big Mike.
Boom.
In our prayers.
He is our person.
Always.
Hey, who'd the Eagles play this past week?
Cowboys. No, Cowboys.
There it is. So why is this clip up here?
I
Why is
know.
this clip up here?
You slacking?
This was up here on my segment 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
What is it?
So check it out. What are they doing? They send him in motion. They make it look like it's a QB sneak, and they're going to toss it out to Miles Sanders.
What?
Okay, let's go to the next one.
That was a
creative gadget.
Yeah, creative gadget. What do we get?
No, they're not.
Who do we have on defense?
Oh my God! Copycat league.
Hey, it's a copycat league, right?
Oh no!
Now check it out. We get the motion in here by the tight end, and what I like about what they do better than what Philly did is now we're going to stop him right here and make it look like we're going to get the push sneak.
Oh, because he's pushing it.
You see it?
Yeah, Henderson.
And then now he gets flying inside, and then what are we going to run?
The toss.
The same fucking play against them.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, that's got a sting.
Thanks for showing us the ropes.
How good is that?
That's pretty cool.
Pretty
Big
cool,
Mike
huh?
in the
Use their
boys.
own play against them on a critical short yardage play. Give
Look
it
here,
to
fatty. Gotcha.
Boom.
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 87.
That's good. Hey, monkey see, monkey do. It's a copycat league.
Copycat league.
Gotcha.
Can't stop it. Nobody can.
Copycat league.
Extra wrinkle.
Thanks for the play.
Pretty cool stuff, though.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
AJ, how come they didn't know that was coming? They literally were the ones that created that one play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on pre-snap there, so
You don't
never
know.
Watch, they had the A gap taken away though.
Yeah.
Watch,
They did.
Yeah, wrong
They got
gap.
some penetration.
Clown.
here.
And I love what Dallas did right here because look, they took a little extra wrinkle. Now we set it up. Now we're selling this push, and then we get them going again.
Yeah,
Boom.
that middle
Watch
backer,
him whenever he sees the guys settle in.
Yep.
he should know Linval Joseph's 800 pounds and he doesn't need help.
That is so well blocked too.
Dallas Cowboys big time win. Can they go on a run?
Like 100% can go on a run.
Right
Congrats to
now,
the Cowboys.
100%.
Congrats, Cowboys.
Yeah.
they got a layup in the first round right now, too.
Now it's time.
Who's that going to be?
Your boys in Tampa.
Ooh, tough one. Tough one.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers get a big time win over there in Arizona. Did you see them when they were in town?
I did. Had the boys over for dinner.
What?
Had the boys over for
You
dinner.
guys get tuned up?
Huh?
No,
Boozing?
tuned up. No tuned
Whiskeys,
up.
wine, couple wines.
Bud Light.
Wine.
Did you guys do that? What was
No.
that?
Cooked a little steak on the grill for him.
How does Tom like his steak? Medium.
Tom didn't come over.
Well
Tom didn't
done.
come over.
Does he
That's a
eat
medium
steak?
well done.
Probably not, right?
No.
It's not part of the team.
Who came over? Just the boys?
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert, Josh Wells, and
Tom Brady.
Robert Hainsey, the center.
Oh, you're understudy.
Yeah, you taught him everything he knows.
Hey, somebody
Trying.
called
You
him.
train him in your backyard,
Somebody
right?
called him a finesse. Did you hear that? Commentator called him a finesse style player.
Whoa.
Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
So they were talking about the difference between Jensen and Haynes. They said Jensen.
2 different players.
Yeah,
for sure.
they called Hainsey a finesse style player as opposed to Hainsey. I think it was during the quarterback sneak.
Oh yeah.
I think it was a quarterback sneak comment. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that about Hainsey. Is that real?
He's athletic.
Jensen's a big boy.
He's a former tackle. He's athletic.
How's Jensen
Jensen's.
doing?
How is Jensen doing?
Jensen's a rip your fucking face off type of player.
Nice guy, though.
Great guy, right?
Yeah, how's
You guys
he
all met him?
doing?
We saw him throw a football into the hoop.
Yep.
We did.
Guy's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
He's recovering from an ACL right now, right?
He is. He is. Hope to see him back soon.
Hell yeah, we all do.
For sure.
Here's some big bumps coming.
Hey, we got some big bumps. We got Trey Smith, who we've seen on here.
Yep.
A couple times this year. My man plays the game the right way. And check this out. He kind of falls into this, but I kind of love it. It's more of a hustle play. He's got to get the cutoff on the backside, which he does. And then he continues, and watch him take out the safety, which ends up being the block that ends up scoring this thing. Watch it. Watch it. Watch him.
no.
Circle it on him.
no.
On him. Let's just watch this.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Might want to let this thing just run in full speed right about now.
Uh-oh. Give me your lunch money. punk.
I mean, how good is that?
Unbelievable.
Off balance.
Gets the cutoff, gets it run through, and then just kind of continues on his way. Just stay in the alley, see if I can pick something else up.
That's another 6-round dog for the Chiefs.
How great is that, though, right? I mean, it's like that ends up being the block that puts him in the end zone.
Yep.
Kadarius Toney also, of course, coming alive for the Chiefs.
Of course.
Of course.
They always
Remember,
find
he
him.
figured it out.
Yep.
Remember, he had a hamstring.
That's right.
They
This guy-
always find him.
Old buddy does kind of stumble into this thing. Just whoa.
I believe that's
Be an athlete. Be an athlete.
athlete.
Got it.
Target acquired.
Kill that guy.
That's so nice. That's a big bump. Let's go.
That is a big bump.
Now we get another guy who we've seen on this show a couple times on this part too.
Roger?
Roger Saffold back in the mix. We're gonna get a little sprint draw out here to the left. and look at Brisker. Tough one for my guy this game. Tough one for my guy.
Oh, no.
Get him flat-footed.
Penn State teach this guy.
No.
Why would you do this to your llama?
I know.
Hope you got a tailbone pad.
He did his job, though.
He forced it back, right? Forced it back. Yeah.
Thank you, Brisker.
There's nothing Brisker could do there.
There's nothing he can
Played
do.
it as
But I love these ones, right? As opposed to the ones where they get the full head of steam. I mean, yeah, sure, he's got a little steam rolling, but this is basically within the box. This is 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. Boom!
Boom.
Gotcha.
He popped up so fast.
Athletic.
Not fast enough. Man, that field looks like shit, huh?
It's very cold.
Boom.
Pretty big bump.
That's a big bump, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big
I'll
bump.
feel that one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and today.
That's Rod Shaffold, though.
That's good football.
Yeah, he's a dog.
That's in the trenches. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
All right, that was really good, pal. And before we get out of here, after this incredible Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 27th, we have to give something away, don't we?
Yeah, I think
Have
so.
to.
Yeah.
People spend their afternoon listening to us talk about some dumb shit. We didn't even really get a chance to dive into a lot of things. We're saving that for tomorrow. We got a big show coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
But today we talked about a lot, didn't we? We talked about culture. We talked about chemistry. We talked about teams. Talked to Aaron. Talked about the Illuminati there for a second.
Yeah.
Sean Payton.
People spend their a lot about Sean Payton.
Yeah.
People spend their afternoons with us, at work. They know that once they get to the lunch hour, they'll have a bunch of doofuses to join them alongside the rest of their day.
Amen.
And since they do that and it's a holiday season, it's only right for us to say thank you to them by giving 15 people $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same tweet so we can pay you efficiently on Cash App if AQ Shipley goes 2 of 5 here
Oh, no
on
chance.
the putting green. AJ Hawk, anything to say to AQ before he takes his first putt here?
Drain the first 2, AQ.
All right, perfect.
That's all you got to do.
Hey, you make all 5, we'll give you 30 winners.
Holy
$500.
Shit. No chance that happens, though.
All right, I got
Steps off
Anyway,
the putt.
back off. Like Tiger. He's backing off.
AQ Shipley from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Oh, 15
Pretty
people.
good putt.
Say
Got their
goodbye
heart
to the double winners. 15 people win $500 if AQ can go 500 the rest of the way.
That's simple. 50%. Come on. Guy's got a putting green.
Good roll.
Nope, not good.
Not good. Big miss.
All he's got to do is go 2 of 3. He knows the roll. He knows the green. AQ wants people to win in this holiday season.
Jesus Christ.
All AQ's got to do is go 2 of 2 here.
Oh, no.
Why do I stink?
Wrap this.
bump.
Don't let this green get in your head. You don't stink. You're
Big
great.
torque.
You're a Super Bowl champion. You putt all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Big bomb.
Can you putt from over here, this side?
Why are you going cross court?
Yeah, can you go from this side? Can
Where do
you
we want to go?
Go this way a little bit more, closer this way, and then you can go that way a little bit.
Which way? This way?
No, the up closer to the. All right, 10 people. Hold on. Boom, boom.
How many? Is this one right edge?
Yes.
Boom, boom.
10 people will win $500 if AQ Shipley of Moon Township in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania can make this putt. All you gotta do is retweet this video. Say something nice to somebody.
I missed it.
You think Tink Tink could putt with his feet?
Not now. He's in jail.
Yeah.
That was tough.
AQ, you're better than this.
This is bad.
Yeah.
Actually, AQ, just turn around and see if you can.
Yeah. Knock it in.
Hey! Do you want to throw football? What do you want to do? We can't just. I mean, people
no,
have to
so
earn.
bad.
If he makes another one behind him, you can give 10 people $5.
Okay, you make this one. We'll give 10 people $500. Ladies and gentlemen, if AQ Shipley can go 2 of 8,
Boom, boom.
which will be this one falling, we'll give
Boom,
10
boom.
people $500.
I didn't hit it.
Hey, AQ, if the ball doesn't reach the hole, it doesn't go in.
Do you want to throw a football?
Sure.
Hold on. We got to restart this whole thing. So
All right. First one of the day.
hold on, though.
Sit down like you were.
Can you
Yeah,
please?
jeez
Can you
Louise.
please just like try to do
Yeah,
something.
this means something to people, AQ.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. This is bad.
Hey, how about what Aaron said today?
Man, he's the
All
best.
right, let's wrap this show up.
Okay.
Let's try to give away some money.
Yeah. Good idea.
All right, it's the holiday season. AQ, how about you, pal?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you can throw a football into any hole out here, basketball hoop or any of the net holes or the other basketball hoop, if you can put one of these 3 footballs into any of these holes, 10 people will win $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so that we can pay them officially on Cash App. AQ Shipley, Super Bowl champion, host of In the Trenches, fucking ready to go.
Come
for
on,
the
Al.
people.
Let's go, Alan.
For the people. 10 people, 500.
Oh, baby.
Oh, look good. Look good. I like how you're doing the most difficult hole.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, this ball was meant to go into a
This
hole.
is the one.
Bum, bum.
Put the ball in the hole. 10
Yahtzee.
people win.
Oh!
$500. All you gotta do is retweet this tweet, say something nice to somebody, and put your cash tag in there, so that we can pay you officially through Cash App. AQ Shipley, the host
Good
of
job,
In the
Al.
Trenches,
I
on
did
this
it.
Aaron Rodgers Tuesday,
I did
December
it.
27th, 2022. Great work. Fucking hell yeah.
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
AJ, thank you. Big thank you to Greg Joseph from South Africa with an American accent. Big shout out to Aaron Rodgers for joining us and all of you. We'll be back tomorrow with a Winner Wednesday. Who will win because of what AQ just did and all the other giveaways from the past week? We shall see. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Goodbye.